sometimes on Thursdays at Mark's Downtown. Buddy Martin, along with a huge cast of interns, and Tom Schmitz. Today is a special day for two reasons. It already started out to be good. Number one, Hunter Thompson Turner's back in the house.
Oh, dear God.
Hunter Turner making a reappearance despite the aggravation that he gets from Tom Schmitz. Back with us again. Hunter, great to see you, buddy.
It's good to be back, buddy. I'm so happy to be back here on the show.
Yeah, just people don't know. It's the world-famous Hunter Thompson Turner. Does anybody call you that but me, by the way? Just me?
My friends now have started calling me that since the show, and it's stuck.
Uh-oh.
So everywhere I go in town, even I was in Miami, buddy.
Yeah?
And somebody came up and said, Hunter Thompson Turner, right? I said, yeah, that's me.
There you go.
So it's
I wonder how many of your friends actually know who Hunter S. Thompson is.
Probably not many.
Probably not many, no.
They know who Hunter Thompson Turner is. Well, good. Great to see you, man. I know you've been through a few bouts of the health situation. You're looking good. Glad to have you back in the house.
Good to be back.
Your seat is still here and always will be until you tell us to take it down. The second reason today is great is tomorrow I'm leaving vacation, a little vacay.
Yeah, that's great for you, I guess.
By the way, just right behind me will be somebody else here named Tom.
Oh, I'm out of here. Friday and Monday, I'm out.
That's a great day.
Peace.
Sure, yeah.
What do they say these days? Deuces.
There you go. So Tom will be with you tomorrow, and then we'll have special best of programs for the holiday weekend on Friday and on Monday. So we hope you're going to have a great weekend. We'd like to, and looking forward to having time off. Went to a luncheon today that it had. I'm writing a piece on this tonight for the Best Version Media magazine, and all I could think of it. Remember this show, not Mission Impossible, the A-Team?
Yeah.
What was that last thing they said every time George Papard was on the show? What was the thing they always said at the end?
I love it when a plan comes together.
Exactly. That's exactly right. And I think we're talking about this in the case of this luncheon today with the Law Enforcement Information Center kiosk unveiling today. About 300 people there at the Ag Center, a lot of people, and I'll tell you more about it later. The mayor was there.
Luncheon, and I didn't go.
Yeah, I can't figure that, how you missed that.
Free food? I must have not checked my email.
I don't know.
Probably.
Must not have. Anyway, it was a terrific job. The Attorney General, Pam Bondi, was there. Some glowing words for our community and for our sheriff. And the mayor himself, Kent Gwynn, will be here at 3:30, and he was there. We'll share that with him. I'll tell you why it's important and what it means to us in more ways than one in terms of crime prevention and economic aspects of our economy, helping our economy. So I'll tell you all about that coming up, too. Also on the program today, we'll have Dave Cope, the state of real estate. We'll check in with Dave and see where we stand on trends, what's going on here in our community, because as you all know, Florida is really geared to real estate in our economy. I mean, we only go as a home building business and sales go, and hadn't been going so good lately, but it's on the way back, and we'll get a fix on that from Dave Cope, what we call our real estate guru. And then in the sports hour, John Bradley drops by. Coach of Trinity Catholic will join us here to catch us up with what he's got going on, including a big camp this summer, looking at next year's football schedule for the Celtics. And anybody remember who won the national championship in football last year? Oh, yes, Florida State. We've almost forgotten about that. And so it's time to check in with Irish Schofel, sports editor of the Tallahassee Democrat, and talk about the real football, not football, but football. And he'll bring us up to date on what's happening with Jameis Winston.
I didn't even mention football. There's no reason to even talk about football.
That's for sure.
For another 4 years.
It's gone. It's over.
It's
finished.
done.
Whatever.
Finished.
Yeah, for sure. So looking forward to that, and a big, busy day today. On the program today, we'll embrace a couple of questions, a couple of things. Do we feel freer or less free today on Independence Day than a year ago? Don't answer it. Just think about it.
Than a year ago, huh?
That we did last year or the year before, do we feel freer or do we feel less free? I'll tell you what some of the polls are saying about it. Got a Gallup poll. And here's one especially good for certain people on our show. I won't say who. I'll just let it be who it is. Wall Street Journal story about how to deal with other people's bad behavior.
It's apropos you're here today, Hunter. Yeah, there you go.
I don't know, Hunter. Does that remind you of anybody that on the show we should talk about or what?
Yeah,
I'd watch what I'd say, Hunter. I'd just
Quite
be real
relevant to the
careful.
program.
Like my grandma said, if the shoe fits, wear it, okay?
I'd be
That's all I'm
real
gonna say about
careful
that.
how I answer that, Hunter.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, so those are two stories to take a look at as well. And as I said, the mayor will be along briefly, and we'll talk more about the kiosk luncheon. Also, the mayor will be talking about the Evergreen Cemetery and what's going there. They're going to do that. They're going to take up some money and fix that place up. It's kind of a mess, and Mary Wynn's behind that. And I got a feeling there's a story coming out tomorrow on the Star Banner on the Marion Theater, because I got a call today from Sukar asking me some questions about it. I don't see anything bad about it, asking questions about, what do we think about it, what's happening, et cetera. And I'll tell you what I said about it. It's been a little bit of a tough year, but, I have a different opinion about things than some people do. Sometimes when you look at numbers, you got to see through the numbers. Got to see what's there and why they're there. Everybody loves metrics. And sometimes we get so caught up in numbers, we can't, like Ian, my grandma said, you can't see the forest for the trees, and you just don't understand. You got to look beyond that sometime. So I wouldn't put a lot of credibility in just cold hard numbers without having some introspection about it and some detail about exactly what's happening in the business.
I once knew a wise economist named Dr. Crandall who would play in the Wednesday golf game with Dr. Thompson and myself and another guy when I was in graduate school, that said, economists are like lawyers. You can get a ham sandwich indicted. You can make numbers look like anything I want them to look like if I got the right paycheck behind me.
Well, I mean, there is obviously some credibility to certain numbers and showing things and trends and whatever, but we get I just heard them try to quantify who the best quarterback in the league was in the National Football League with analytics. I don't know. If you look at the numbers.
That's easy, Aaron Rodgers.
Well, he's right up there. But the bottom line is you just throw away Drew Brees. I mean, yeah, he's not, you got some great players who get the job done. You look at a guy like Roger Staubach, he probably wouldn't have been great on numbers. How good a quarterback was he? Look at Terry Bradshaw. His numbers weren't great.
Joe Namath in the Hall of Fame, and his numbers were average at best.
Exactly, and Terry Bradshaw, his numbers in terms of passes for touchdowns and interceptions, were close. That's not good in terms of analytics.
Never threw for more than 250 yards in a Super Bowl.
I believe he's got a couple rings. Oh, what about 4? So how's that for analytics? He's got 4 rings. So check those out.
I've always said analytics is for the long haul, not the short haul. That's why the Oakland A's make the playoffs but never win.
And I think Coach Eric Russell once said statistics are for losers. Anyway, I'm just saying that. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Lots more to come your way, including how to deal with people who have bad behavior. Hunter. Just saying.
Hunter.
Coming up next, right here on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on.
Hey, Eddie, I'm playing Augusta in a few hours, and I need a 4th. Want to join us?
Georgia's close, but it's not that close, Alex.
Not Georgia, Golden Ocala. I'm a member at Golden Ocala, and this course has 8 tribute holes, like number 12 and 13. Part of Amen Corner, and the postage stamp, and the road hole. It's a phenomenal track. My family and I always have a great time at the pool and at the restaurants. They've got 3, The kids love the tennis programs. My wife practically lives at the spa, and I've been bulking up with a personal trainer trainer in their fitness center. Joining Golden Ocala was one of the best decisions I've ever made, aside from marrying my wife, of course. So you want to join us in a few hours?
Absolutely. I can't wait to play the first hole in golf and the road hole too. Hey, how do I become a member at Golden Ocala?
Eddie, just call 352-402-4343.
Luxury and great golf is affordable at Golden Ocala. Call 352-402-4343 to join.
Right on the southwestern corner of the square sits one of the finest dining establishments in Florida, Mark's Prime Steakhouse and Seafood Restaurant. Mark's offers big city dining amenities in a charming and small town setting. It's a rare treat to experience both the ambiance and the exquisite cuisine in a friendly atmosphere. Ocala's finest restaurant serves the finest beef, the freshest seafood, premium wines, and naturally fresh vegetables. From valet parking to splendid service, Mark's offers the complete package. Check it out today. Mark's Prime Seafood and Steakhouse Restaurant.
You're listening to WOCA, Ocala.
Hey, I'm Gary.
And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara.
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my
too.
seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line and a new spoiler and a new
Yep,
trunk.
we can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Tropical storm watches in effect along the coast. Tropical storm Arthur continues to intensify, located some 95 miles to the east-southeast of Cape Canaveral and moving slowly north. The storm will bring drenching downpours to the coast along with rough surf and dangerous rip currents tomorrow into Friday. Today, mostly cloudy with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm and becoming windy this afternoon, the high 88 to 92. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Now is the time to take advantage of Florida Credit Union's CD specials. Our 36-month CD comes in at 1.26% APY. A 24-month is working for you at 1.0% APY. And our 12-month at 0.75% APY. All CD rate specials require $10,000 minimum. With friendly service and rates like these, it's not hard to see why Florida Credit Union has your CD options covered. Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life. Call 352-237-8222 for more information. Must act by 1/15/14.
This is Tom Schmitz live in the WOCA studios with this news break brought to you by Gateway Bank. According to Ocala.com, Ocala Mayor Kent Gwynn said Tuesday he will form a committee to restore the 164-year-old Evergreen Cemetery, including the Evergreen extension that has fallen into disrepair. Graves are sinking in the ground, and the grave markers have been desecrated or disintegrating. Some of the gravestones are in deplorable condition, Gwynn told the Ocala City Council at its meeting Tuesday. Gwynn said he received numerous emails regarding the city's condition. There's a great interest by volunteers to get it cleaned up, the mayor said. This news break was brought to you by Gateway Bank, your new old-fashioned bank. Join Buddy Fridays for Community Gazette Day at Gateway Bank.
All right, so what is your favorite thing about July 4th? I love holidays like July 4th and also Labor Day, etc. You don't have to buy gifts. I like Thanksgiving because I like the one day. Holiday seasons can be long, but the nice weekends are great and they're good days to get away, whatever. But you stop and think about the 4th of July. You think, what is my favorite thing about 4th of July? You can talk about Christmas and Easter. And you can talk about Thanksgiving and even Labor Day to a certain point because it's a holiday weekend. But what is so great to you about July 4th? And you're going to tick off the things like, okay, it's an extra day and a holiday. The food, love the cookouts, right? It's easy to find things you like about July 4th, right? The thing about it is, it's funny, is that the thing that we all should treasure the most we never talk about. I say never, as in almost never, and that's our freedom.
Mm-hmm.
we sort of take that for granted. Now, we don't sort of. We take it for granted that, hey, we got up today. The world's still here. I'm still in my house. Everything's good. I got a job. My town's in one piece. My family's here. Nobody blew us up last night. Hey, it just comes with the territory. Then, of course, then something changes like 9/11. You begin to remember that things do change. And I got thinking about freedom today, and the veterans know this, and law enforcement officers know because they're dealing with it all the time. But we're very blessed to have people who look out for our interests, who protect us and our freedom. So I saw this story today, and I thought this would be a good question to bring up about whether or not you feel freer today than you felt then. And by that I mean, like, there was a time after 9/11 that a lot of people were scared. I was scared too. I'm thinking, what else can happen? They're going to drop a bomb on me? Or is my city going to blow up? What's going to happen there? And the terrorists accomplished what they wanted, which is to strike the fear in our hearts in our country. Luckily, we've been blessed, and that has not happened. We've not had any major ordeals in this country, although over the Middle East, it continues, and the whole thing's a mess there in terms of Iraq, Iran, Syria. That's a whole other story. In our country, in our town, in our county, whatever, we've been very blessed. So I just asked everybody at the table, Diamond, Ashley are here today, along with Hunter and Tom. If you had to, I'll even give you like 8 years, 9 years, in the last decade, whatever. Do you feel freer or less free? And if so, why? Who wants to start?
I'll go first.
All right.
We seem to, it's my favorite holiday of all the holidays, by the way. 4th of July to me is better, in my opinion, and I know Christians will get after me and Catholics will get after me, the Catholic Christians and all get after me. This day to me in the United States is more important in our country than Christmas. And I'll tell you why. Without the 4th of July, we may not have the rights and the freedom to celebrate Christmas as Christians. There are people in the Middle East that are Christians that can't celebrate Christmas. They have to do it in locked rooms and everything, so people don't know that they're Christians. They have to do that in China. Do I feel freer now? I feel every day I wake up, I feel just as free then as when the forefathers created this country. And it's because I was lucky enough, God shined down upon me and gave me enough luck to be born an American. That's what I think people take for granted, is that we're born into the greatest country on the face of the earth. Do we have our problems? We have tons of problems. Government's a problem. How our government's running is a problem. People with guns shooting up schools or whack jobs shooting up theaters are problems. But we do have freedom. And that's something that is very rare on the earth, to have true freedom. And I think it's just as good today for me as it was last year or 10 years ago.
Okay, so freedom is really defined by what you determine is free, whether it's your right to have freedom of speech, or whether it's your right to own a weapon, or whether it's your right to do whatever you want to do.
Certainly.
There's a difference in free and safe. And I probably mixed the two things together when I said that, because I think the situation with 9/11 was more about being safe. Freedom, people would say, well, I can't do what I used to be able to do because the government holds me down. The government's not helping me. I can't do this. The government says I can't do that. I saw a sign over here, a bumper sticker said, everything you own, the government took from somebody else.
What?
That's what the sign said. Bumper sticker. Everything you own, the government took from somebody else.
No, most stuff I bought came from Walmart, not from Washington.
Yeah. So I guess the question is, there's a difference in safer and freer. And, you get into those words, which I hate to bring up on the show, liberal, conservative, because it's always one that just automatically just polarizes everybody. I don't know. I would say free, I feel about as free. But when I think about stories like the story about Facebook and stuff like that, I realize that, there's a lot going on with us right now in this country we don't know about. When I read about the NSA spying on us, like they've been spying on us, that upsets me. I talked to a detective from the Louisville Police Department over the weekend when I was at the wedding. He's been there 17 years, a young guy. He says, you have no idea what we see out there. We have no idea what Sheriff Chris Blair sees out there.
If you're obeying the law, what's it matter?
Yeah, well, it matters because it's a threat to you. You don't know that behind you lurking with some guy lurking with a knife or a gun or whatever, maybe a predator or whatever it might be. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that freedom, I'd feel a little bit less free because I don't know what's happening in our community. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist, Tom. You know, you were on the show for me. I don't believe in that black helicopter stuff. You know?
I know. I'm not worried about the government kicking my door down,
not either,
and pulling me out and shooting me because I may be Christian.
No,
that
right.
happens.
And I guess I wonder what freedom is. You know, what is freedom? I mean, if you want to say freedom is going to do you house of worship or not that you want to go to, that you're having an opinion on one side or the other, that you're not discriminated against because of the color of your skin, you know, those kinds of things. Obviously,
are all those examples of freedom?
I guess you could call them freedom. Yes, those would be freedom. So I guess you have to define for you what freedom means. A big one for me is what I'm doing right here. Freedom of expression. As a journalist all my life, or a broadcaster, freedom of expression means everything. And that goes all the way down, not just to the government, to the people I work for and with. I want to be allowed to give my opinion, right or wrong, misinformed or well-informed. I want to be able to express that. That means freedom to me. So I'll leave it at that and ask whoever else wants to answer. Do you feel freer now than you did 3 or 4 years ago?
Are you talking about free now or safe? Because
I'm talking about free. You can throw in safe if you want to as a second one.
I feel free, but not quite as safe as I did 3 or 4 years ago. You look at the drones that are coming about with cameras on them that can fly up 26 stories and look through people's windows in Chicago and New York City.
To see what was going on up there.
And I think that...
Great point.
At what point does somebody else's freedom stop and my freedom start? And that's a debate we have to have as a country, because we're getting to a point where there's so much technology and other things out there that eventually somebody has to step up and do something. Mm-hmm. I mean, I understand everybody has a right to, mess around with these drone things. And there's, look at the iPhone apps. You got Tinder, things like that. And I mean, it's going to become a problem where technology may take away some of our freedoms. Now, granted, as Tom says, we are very lucky to live in this country, and I'm a very proud American, but I will say I'm very concerned with the direction we're headed.
All right, so technology giveth, technology take us away. Diamond wanted to say something. Diamond, what do you think? You feel freer today than you used to?
I feel like I'm free the same. Like, I don't feel like there was any change. I do feel like my freedom can be expressed in a different way than others. I may feel free to express my feelings, but someone else may feel free as in they have the right to carry a gun and go to a school and shoot up a school. That shouldn't be right. I don't feel safe. I feel free, but safety is something that the country should be focusing more on.
Okay, freedom. All right, Ashley, what do you think? Are you freer today than you were a few years ago?
Well, as far as personal freedoms go, I certainly am, because I'm 18 now, so I have the right to vote, which I'm very lucky to have. Yep. And so many people, even though that's a freedom we have in the United States, take that for granted, and they don't realize that that's not like that around the rest of the world. So I am, like Hunter, concerned with the direction that technology is going, because at what point do we have to be concerned about our freedoms being restricted for the sake of security? I don't understand why there are so many innocent Americans who are being supposedly spied on for the sake of security, and that's a concern of mine.
All right, so well put by everybody. I think we all agree we kind of all feel free. I probably will feel a little bit less free than you all do, but none of us feel quite as safe as we used to.
And I once again, I guess that's probably I'm big ogre mentality, but I don't feel that less safe either. I'm one that people say you don't worry about things go bump in the night. You think, I just figure if it's my time to go, it's my time to go. And a maniac in a theater with a gun, if I'm in that theater, it's my time. There's nothing I can do about it anyway, so no reason to feel unsafe. Just go out and live your life free.
You're free to go ahead and see that maniac if you want to. I don't want to see him. By the way, the Gallup poll, 79% of U.S. residents are satisfied with the level of freedom, but it's down from 91% in 2006. So people don't feel as free as they did.
Well, that's because they're a little more broke
8 years ago.
Because I'm happy. Clap along if you
All right, that wraps wraps up this segment. Coming up next, the mayor of Ocala is here, Kent Gwynn. Is he bringing coffee? Oh, he brought coffee. Coming up next, Mayor Kent Gwynn on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Bring me down, can't none bring me down.
Hi, this is Lisa Midget, owner of the Properties Salon in downtown Ocala. Here in Florida, we're all about summertime fun, but along with the warm weather comes humidity, which leads to the dreaded frizzies. Are you tired of checking the weather report every morning before deciding to flat iron your hair? Sick of looking like the Lion King every day by noon? Has God just not seen fit to answer your prayers for patience and silky, frizz-free hair? Well, your troubles are over. Come to the Properties Salon for one of our hair smoothing systems. Specializing in Peter Coppola and Cezanne keratin smoothing treatments, the Properties Salon can tame your unruly locks with these formaldehyde-free formulas. And with the discount code BuddyRocks, you will save 20%. Not fighting the frizzies? Mention the same code BuddyRocks to save 20% off one of our many services such as cuts, color, extensions, and manis and petties. Gentlemen, this special is not just for the ladies. We do great cuts and color for men too. Check us out at theproperties.com for more information.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, inviting you to drop by our main office on Silver Springs Boulevard every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. for the Community Gazette, a 3-hour show focusing on our favorite community to live and work, Ocala, Marion County. Come join us with the voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin, in the new old-fashioned bank radio studio as we discuss a variety of interesting topics on the Community Gazette on WOCA, The Source.
If you need a sign or a banner for your yard or your business or your campaign, I'd recommend you go to Signs Unlimited at 318 South Magnolia in Ocala. Screen printing, embroidery, digital graphics. Do what I did when we needed signs for the Save the Marion Theater Group. Go see Vic Buttermore at Signs Unlimited if you want quality work with a fast turnaround from somebody who is deeply committed to his community and always ready to assist you. There's a reason Vic's slogan is, "It's our business to make your business better." Sign up for Signs Unlimited. Call 732-7341 today.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. The only Benghazi terror suspect to face trial in our country makes his second court appearance since arriving in the U.S.
Ahmed Abu Khattala, wearing a green jailhouse jumpsuit, listened closely as an interpreter translated his detention hearing. A federal judge ordered the man federal prosecutors accused of orchestrating the 2012 Benghazi attacks to remain locked up.
Fox Radio's Jared Halpern. For millions, long weekend plans could be in for a soaking.
For anybody along the eastern seaboard this 4th of July weekend, you have got to be very careful about rip currents, flash flooding, and storm surge. Tropical Storm Arthur packing 60-mile-an-hour sustained winds. Those could get up to 85 miles an hour tomorrow.
Fox's Phil Keating in Cocoa Beach, Florida. And a Philadelphia food truck blast that critically injured 5, blamed, police say, on a propane tank leak and the resulting vapor cloud, which was then ignited by cooking grills. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Discover just how deep your American roots go for free this 4th of July weekend. That's right, get free access, but only for a limited time. Visit tryancestry.com anytime this Wednesday through Sunday only, and you'll have 100% free access to our most popular U.S. Census collections. Find birthplaces, occupations, military service records, and so much more. Hurry, free access with unlimited hours is only for a short time. Visit tryancestry.com. That's TRY Ancestry.com. Tryancestry.com.
Know-how! When cologne is on sale for $3.49 a quart, you don't stock up. When scented bubble bath is on sale for $3.49 a quart, you definitely don't stock up. But now that Napa has Castrol GTX oil on sale for $3.49 a quart, you stock up your garage, your shed, maybe even your bathroom cabinets. Conquer the job with Napa Know-how. General states pricing. Sales prices do not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees at participating Napa Auto Parts store.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust-proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
how good does it get?
Golf has long been considered to be sport's most prestigious game, and WOCA has your connection to everything in the golf world. Every first and third Thursday at 10 a.m., tune in for Let's Talk Golf with your host, PGA professional and teacher to the stars, Jim Beckett, and operations manager for the Links of Spruce Creek South, Darren Irwin, right here on The Source.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
Time now for Coffee with the Mayor. We do this most Wednesdays. We've missed it in the last couple of weeks. Glad to have you back in the studio. Mayor Gwen, nice to see you again. Just saw you this morning at the big, get your mic turned on over there. I saw you this morning over at the Ag Center.
Yes.
With the unveiling of the new kiosk. And what'd you think?
I thought it was good. Sheriff did a good job on that. It was great that there was local talent that was used to develop it. And I think it's going to be a great crime fighting tool. You know, we always say that, the best, crime fighters are probably the people out in the community that are our eyes and ears. And so, as people get out and about and they see people they recognize and people that, we're looking for, hopefully they'll pick up the phone and call and, alert us to where they may be.
Well, I know that you said call her General, so I'll call her General Pam Bondi, but Attorney General is her title, obviously. Right. Pam Bondi, who was there for this. I would use the word effusive to describe the praise that she gave to Ocala and to Sheriff Chris Blair for coming up with this concept, developing it, manufacturing it, and now she said on the podium up there, she plans to introduce the sheriff to every one of the attorney generals in the country, right?
Yeah, definitely.
How cool is that?
That's great. I'm sure they have some attorney general, convention somewhere. So I'm sure he probably will be scheduled to be on that agenda. I know General Bondi said she serves on the executive committee for that group. So I would envision Chris taking that show on the road.
Mm-hmm. For people who don't know what we're talking about, this is like a little TV screen. I guess it's a vertical, sits up, looks like it's about 4 feet high. And half of that is a screen, and it has the Crime Stoppers number on it, 352-368-STOP. And then it has on the three different thirds of the screen, and one of them is would be for Amber Alerts if a child was lost. One would be for criminals on the lam or predators or whatever. Another would be information if there was some emergency or whatever, right?
Yeah, hurricanes and things like that, yeah.
And they'll be posted, and they're going to try to get them in as many businesses as possible. And we got one right here in the Paddock Mall right now.
See, the one that they put in the Paddock Mall originally was, and I don't know if you've got the new one here yet, but it was a triangular-shaped device, so it had screens on all three sides. Little bulky, so this is the next generation of the kiosk. So, they'll probably put them in some high-traffic areas, I'm sure, and probably some places where people would that go in there would probably have knowledge of some of the people that they're looking for. Let's put it
we
that
still
way.
have the triangular block-sized one here in the mall.
Yes.
Got screens on three sides.
The first one that they put out.
We wanted to know yesterday if we could watch the World Cup on it, but we can dial that in. So,
what is the World Cup? Soccer? Oh, soccer's done. We're not talking about soccer.
So this particular machine is now up and being made by a local group, OFAB, and Larry how you pronounce that saying? Mighty?
Yes, I believe so.
AMYOTT. I'm sorry if I'm not be able to pronounce it. They're making this right there in our town. And again, a stellar lineup of people today, including the man from OFAB. You had Doug Cohn from the CEP.
Right.
You, Attorney General Pam Bondi, Sheriff Blair, etc., not to mention some other folks who won't wait the whole list. So this is off and running, underway, and it looks like it's going to be innovative and something that could have an impact on our community and could greatly enhance our law enforcement. And I know in doing the show with Chief Graham and Sheriff Blair, as we do, it's all about communication.
Right.
Everything is about getting the word out and getting the word back to people. And they always say, call. Well, this is a way to communicate back with the people, which I think is terrific.
Sure.
And it should be an excellent tool.
Yeah, I mean, you'll have and there's 100 of them, so you'll have just thousands and thousands of people that'll see this every day. That hopefully, people will respond to pick up the phone and call and say, I know where this person is, and give us some information.
The crime prevention specialist, Ben Adams, a bright young man, will be heading that up. And how many people would you say there today in that room? You've been there before.
A couple of hundred.
How about that 250 or so? I was going to guess
yeah.
about that. So good turnout. You're in the news today on the Evergreen Cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
As something that obviously is in disrepair. And you said to the local newspaper, to Sue Carr, that the gravestones are in deplorable condition. And you got a bunch of emails, and you said there was quite a big interest with volunteers to get it cleaned up. So tell us about what's going on. First, explain to us what the Evergreen Cemetery, it's 164 years old, why it's so important to us.
Yeah, there were a couple of people, I'll just say John and Catherine, that got this started. John Linnell was the one gentleman that got it started. His grandfather had passed away, and he just kind of felt like that was something he wanted to kind of do for his grandfather. We were talking yesterday. And anyway, I kept getting all these emails, and I thought, wow, I said, I need to go out here myself and see what they're talking about. So I went out there the day before that first article was in the paper, looked at it, and I thought, wow, this is terrible. But it seems like this conversation's been going on reading the article since the 60s. The actual tombstones are just cracked and destroyed, and some of them are in good shape. They're leaning over and things like that. But the moss and things are so thick on there you can't even really read what's there. So there were two things that we were trying to do. One, we were trying to figure out what kind of material do you use to clean that off and not destroy the stone itself. So there was an email that was sent to me by someone that's tied to the University of South Florida. It's a state-run organization that's tied to that archaeology type group. That he's got the chemical to do that. So we're going to get in touch with him. Got an email from another gentleman this morning that said he's got the technology to actually find where the graves are. Now, there's on one side of the street are where the slaves, and it says on the sign, the slaves and the free slaves are buried.
That's amazing.
It's
a cemetery where slaves are buried.
And free slaves.
Slaves.
Yeah, that founded helped found the city. So a lot of those graves were only marked by, let's say, a little white cross. Well, obviously those are gone. So what he can do is he can go and find where every one of those graves are. I think we've got the actual names of the people that were buried there, but we just don't know,
which ones are which.
Well, which one? We know which ones are which, but we don't know physically where they're located. They might be 10 feet down here, 10 feet over there. So we're gonna find that out.
Willa Boyer's pretty good at that stuff too.
That's right.
Archaeologist himself.
Yes.
He'd probably be able to help you along those lines.
Yeah. So people have just been kind of coming out of the woodwork. I want to say Marty and Dory Funk. Marty sent me a message last night on Facebook that she said she and Dory want to hold a fundraiser to help out. So it'll be a community project. And like I said before. When people see a need in this community, they just come out and they want to help. So
it's located on I'm going to just tell people it's Northwest 8th Street, about a block of pine. It's 4-acre land, so plot. So it's pretty big land.
I'm confused where that is.
It's right behind. It's between North Magnolia, and Pine Street, right behind Clark Yandel's building materials.
Oh, right in between
road.
Jerry's Pond and Clark Yandel, back there.
Yeah,
I know.
that road that
that
goes
cemetery is in bad repair.
Right by Yandel's building
I
material.
know exactly where it is. I've walked through there and read some of the tombstones. That cemetery is in bad
Founded
repair.
in 1850 when our city was founded.
Mayor Kent Gwen's our guest. He'll be with us. You're going to stay and play figure or factoid for you, all right? You got to do that.
How are you going to embarrass the mayor like
and
that?
here's what I want to get to is the downtown situation right now. There's a story coming out this week on the Marion Theaters. Concerns about what might be a hit for the Marion. It's been a tough last 6 months or so. We've had the story now in the newspaper about the amount of money spent on the concerts and the fact that it costs the city quite a bit. I know this is not something you do because you're in charge of it, but still, it's our city.
Right.
And now I've got this from Janie Pope, who sent me something. Here's the problem with this. You want to be honest about everything and you want to be transparent about what's going on, but you also run the risk of being very negative all of a sudden if you're not careful. And
We're famous for that.
You get down in that trough of negativity.
Right.
And you, like when I was being interviewed by Sue Carter on the Marion Theater, I tried to say, look, I think the Marion Theater is just doing fine. Whatever the numbers are, I can't tell you. But I can tell you this, it's better well known today than it was 2 years ago.
Right.
And the film festival has made it even more popular, and it's got a great future. How the business is going to be run and not run and whatever, the costs involved, I can't tell you. The theater is beautiful. The crowds are not what we'd like them to be, but they're not bad. So you got to speak to the Sotos, who do, I think, a great job about how that's run.
Awesome
But
job.
the movie house is fabulous right now. And
Right.
with the film festival, it couldn't be better. So, but you can take metrics and look at numbers and say, oh, wait a minute. You don't know what those numbers reflect. You can't,
Right.
only they know that. That's one. Secondly, I want to read this for Janie Pope because I think it's fair to her. There was a listener from this station who did a survey on music, and apparently they heard her say on Detroit, the interview about Detroit, and that about how she'd gone to up there to study what's going on, and she wrote a message to Janie: "Stop losing money." Janie Pope, I'm sure she is authorizing the survey and reading this, and won't share it with her managers, needs to be fired. There are teachers being let go, and Janie Pope keeps her job after almost $250,000 loss. She liked Detroit so much, and obviously is following their let's go broke business model. Now, that's a listener to our program. It says that. Okay, so correct everybody. This is not the same fun as teachers, number one.
No.
It's a totally different thing. We knew going in there was going to be a loss involved to build it up. You have to balance it with the coffers of the business people, the people who made money while the concerts are there. We know this is an investment in our city.
Yes, it is.
So give me your thoughts on that real quick.
Yeah, I mean, well, Star Banner, with all due respect, they love to write negative stories. They look for the failures. They look for things like that. That's what sells newspapers, I guess. I don't know.
This is a listener to our show, so I can't blame Star Banner.
No, I'm talking about Sue Carr and her interview with you on the Marion Theater. The Marion Theater is great. It's done a great job. We've got the film festival that's going on. I think you got another event coming up. In August?
October for Halloween.
Yeah,
horror.
yeah.
It's a small festival of horror films, whatever.
Yeah. So I mean, that's doing good. Yeah, we'd like the attendance to be up. We're about to kick off the residential for the downtown with Sandy McBride. We always want to get rid of things or talk bad about things right when the tide's about to turn. As far as what Janie's doing, I think Janie's doing an awesome job. I don't know what the number was that we lost. We started charging $10 a head and $30 for the VIP, but every park we have loses money.
And the golf course and what have you.
Every park we have loses money. Every one of them. It's an amenity to the city. It's a service that we provide to make the quality of life that we have here better. The merchants, they love the concert series. Love it. It's good for business when people come downtown. There are a lot of other places we can save money, and we're going through the budget right now.
Well, hold that for the next
city.
session next week. We'll talk about it. I see smoke's coming out of your ears right now, so I'll let you take a break and come back because you got to get yourself in your mind game here. You got to get ready for Tom Schmidt's and take him on in the game of all games.
Get him out of his mindset, and that way he's got an excuse.
Don't worry. The mayor's going to kick your butt today, I guarantee you. Stay tuned for the big showdown between Mayor Kent Gwynn and the big scary guy right here on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, live and local on The Source.
Yeehaw! Howdy, folks. RL here to invite you to DQ. Dairy Queen is serving the crispiest, juiciest, most tasty chicken tenders, all beef chili dogs, and quarter-pound cheeseburgers on earth. And you get crispy fries, a drink, and an ice cream sundae of your choice for only $5. Remember, at DQ, you can lick their cones, but you can't beat their shakes. Dairy Queen, Silver Springs, where they always treat you like kings and queens.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
News Talk 1370, WOCA invites you to discover your full business potential. News Talk Radio is the perfect environment for your advertising. WOCA's News Talk format pinpoints information-hungry, better educated, high-income adults, so use us to talk to them. Call 732-8000, 732-8000. We're Ocala News Talk Radio. News Talk 1370, WOCA.
Hey, I'm Gary. And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara.
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
All right, welcome back. Mayor Kent Gwynn here, and the smoke's not coming out of his ears now. We can get him to. Oops, he is sneezing though. I don't know. It's a little hay fever. Oh, by the way, real quick, Larry Dupree. You said you had a letter from Larry Dupree. I wrote a column about him last week, and you said someone gave you a letter from Larry Dupree.
My cousin Buddy Gwynn was playing football up at University of Florida.
Yeah.
John McCall.
Yeah.
When Larry was up there, and Buddy called Larry and asked him if he'd send his little cousin.
Yeah.
A letter. And he wrote me a letter when he was playing there and talked about, someday being a Gator and, to study hard and do good in school. And, yeah, it was pretty neat.
Hold on to that. Ready now for Fake or Factoid. Mayor Kent Gwynn going up against Tom Schmitz, who's gotten lucky a couple times and won. If you flick on that music, Ashley, we'll let it roll. Here we go. Number one. More than 90% of people are no longer friends with someone they once called their best friend. Fake or factoid? Tom,
Fact.
You're going first, Tom?
Fact.
Say fact. Mayor Gwynn?
Fact.
Both of you say fact. Both of you are correct. This time, Mayor Gwynn will go first. Number two, watching too much TV can cause a craving for chocolate. Fake or factoid?
Factoid. Fact.
Fact.
Both say fact. Anybody want to change their answer?
Nope.
Should have, because it's fake. Both of you got a miss. Number three, your body craves sugary, salty, and fatty foods when you're under a lot of stress. Fake or factoid?
Fact.
Fact.
Both of you say fact.
Yep.
Both of you are correct. Still got one miss apiece. Number four, dimples. Dimples are considered a facial muscle deformity in the medical world. Fake or factoid?
Fact.
Fact.
You're just all saying the same thing. Nobody's going to take a chance, huh? Anybody want to change their answer?
Nope.
Okay, you're smart. You didn't, because it's fact. Number five, Clint Eastwood was offered a role of James Bond, but turned it down because he believed the character should be played by an Englishman. Fake or factoid?
Fact.
Fake.
Kent says fact. Tom says fake. The mayor scores the win.
Wow. Clint Eastwood turned down James Bond. Huh?
Yeah, there you go. The mayor scores a win. Okay, it's a victory for a Mayor Can't Win. Here's the number.
I've ever won.
Here's the number. If you could stack all the beer cans consumed in the U.S.
This isn't fair for Kent.
If you could stack all the beer cans consumed in the U.S. each year, it would reach the moon how many times?
Gosh.
565,000.
565,000.
That's just the beer consumed in my house.
Now, wait a minute. I said,
you mean every year?
I
every
said,
beginning
no,
of time.
remember, this is the question.
Each year.
Reach the moon. If beer cans consumed each year.
Oh, from 1 year. Just one year beer
each year.
cans.
It would reach the moon how many times?
27 times.
36 times.
The mayor wins again. It's 20.
Well, there you go.
There you go. All right, there you go. Mayor Kent wins.
I bet you Doug Cohn would know the answer to that question.
Yeah, he would. He definitely would.
I don't mind getting beat by the most dapper guy in the city.
Yeah, well, you get that. Throw us a
Never
dapper.
won. That's my first win on this.
Is it really?
First time I've ever won.
Well, it's a good sign for the Knowles, and they're number one for last year. So.
Ask Greg Graham how he does. I'd get a new police chief if I was
twice. He beat you.
I'd get a new police chief if it was me.
Now, we're going to do Hunter. We need you to start keeping stats on this again, okay? Because a lot of hot air being blown about this. We got to keep him honest, okay?
You got it, buddy.
All right, Hunter's all over that. Well, Mayor Gwynn, thanks for coming in today. Appreciate that. And once again, congratulations on all the good stuff you got going on with the cemetery. And I'm as you are, I'm optimistic about this whole thing with the kiosk. And good to see that whole ag center filled up with people today interested in doing something for the community. So sometimes we do things right, don't we, Ken?
Every once in a while.
Yeah. All right, Mayor Ken Gwynn. Coming up next, it's time to talk real estate with David Cope right here on the Voice of Ocala. Stay tuned to
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
And although this wave is stringing us along, just know you're not alone, 'cause I'm gonna make this place your home.
If you need a sign or a banner for your yard or your business or your campaign, I'd recommend you go to Signs Unlimited at 318 South Magnolia in Ocala. Screen printing, embroidery, digital graphics. Do what I did when we needed signs for the Save the Marion Theater Group. Go see Vic Buttermore at Signs Unlimited if you want quality work with a fast turnaround from somebody who is deeply committed to his community and always ready to assist you. There's a reason Vic's slogan is, it's our business to make your business better. Sign up for Signs Unlimited. Call 732-7341 today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's national magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on.
Hey, Eddie, I'm playing Augusta in a few hours, and I need a fourth. Want to join us?
Georgia's close, but it's not that close, Alex.
Not Georgia, Golden Ocala. I'm a member at Golden Ocala, and this course has 8 tribute holes, like number 12 and 13. You know, part of Amen Corner, and the postage stamp, and the road hole. It's a phenomenal track. My family and I always have a great time at the pool and at the restaurants. They've got 3, you know. The kids love the tennis programs. My wife practically lives at the spa, and I've been bulking up with a personal trainer in their fitness center. Joining Golden Ocala was one of the best decisions I've ever made, aside from marrying my wife, of course. So you want to join us in a few hours?
Absolutely. I can't wait to play the first hole in golf and the road hole too. Hey, how do I become a member at Golden Ocala?
Eddie, just call 352-402-4343.
Luxury and great golf is affordable at Golden Ocala. Call 352-402-4343 to join.
Your official news source, WOCA.
WOCA.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new
Yep,
truck.
we can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Tropical storm watches in effect along the coast. Tropical storm Arthur continues to intensify, located some 95 miles to the east-southeast of Cape Canaveral and moving slowly north. The storm will bring drenching downpours to the coast along with rough surf and dangerous rip currents tomorrow into Friday. Today, mostly cloudy with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm and becoming windy this afternoon, the high 88 to 92. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Now is the time to take advantage of Florida Credit Union's CD specials. Our 36-month CD comes in at 1.26% APY. A 24-month is working for you at 1.0% APY. And our 12-month at 0.75% APY. All CD rate specials require $10,000 minimum. With friendly service and rates like these, it's not hard to see why Florida Credit Union has your CD options covered. Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life. Call 352-237-8222 for more information. Must act by 1/15/14.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge, undercutting, rust-proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
How good does it get?
Golf has long been considered to be sports' most prestigious game, and WOCA has your connection to everything in the golf world. Every first and third Thursday at 10 a.m., tune in for Let's Talk Golf with your host, PGA professional and teacher to the stars, Jim Beckett, and operations manager for the Links of Spruce Creek South, Darren Irwin, right here on The Source. Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Jane Metzler. Watches and warnings in effect to the Virginia border as Arthur heads north from Florida.
There's a hurricane watch posted for much of North Carolina's coast, but local and state agencies are planning for more than just a coastal strike.
It could really make landfall and come over a little bit farther inland. So we have to be prepared for any eventuality.
That's Mike Sprayberry, North Carolina's emergency management chief.
Fox Radio's Evan Brown. First, the kidnapped killings of 3 Israeli teens, one with dual U.S. citizenship. Now, a Palestinian teen abducted. His burned body found in what's being called a revenge attack, fearing more violence.
We want to see both sides acting responsibly.
White House spokesman Josh Earnest. 5 still critical after a propane tank sparked an explosion on a food truck in Philadelphia. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Discover just how deep your American roots go for free this 4th of July weekend. That's right, get free access, but only for a limited time. Visit tryancestry.com anytime this Wednesday through Sunday only, and you'll have 100% free access to our most popular U.S. Census collections. Find birthplaces, occupations, military service records, and so much more. Hurry, free access with unlimited hours is only for a short time. Visit tryancestry.com. That's TRY Ancestry.com. Tryancestry.com.
Know-how! When cologne is on sale for $3.49 a quart, you don't stock up. When scented bubble bath is on sale for $3.49 a quart, you definitely don't stock up. But now that Napa has Castrol GTX oil on sale for $3.49 a quart, you stock up your garage, your shed, maybe even your bathroom cabinets. Conquer the job with Napa Know-how. General states pricing. Sales prices do not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Offer expired.
I'm just sick of all the amateur stuff, you know? I mean, like, if I'm paying top dollar, I want a little production value, you know? Like some editing, transition, something, some music.
Don't worry. We didn't leave you.
He's gone? He's not gone. That's the whole point. He's never gone.
Our bosses say we gotta stay.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
Bow to your sensei. Bow to your sensei.
It's time for the second hour of the voice of Ocala.
Hoo-ah!
You ever come across anything like time travel?
Come on, stick around. It's free.
If you win, you win. If you lose, you still win.
Welcome to Hour 2 of the program. Joined now by the real estate guru, the man who knows everything about dirt. Well, he does know a lot about dirt, too, but that's a different kind of dirt. Dave Cope joins us now for our bi-monthly real estate show called The State of Real Estate. David Cope. Hi, Dave. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, buddy. It's good to be here again today. You make me sound, what was it Johnny Carson used to put the big turban on his head?
Yeah, he was Carmack. Karnak.
Yeah, you make me sound like I'm the great Karnak.
I'm going to call you Karnak the Magnificent. That'd be perfect. Will you wear a turban if I call you that? We do have a camera up here.
I probably need to wear one.
Know about that. So
the markets are improving. Rips open the envelope. What is the city of Ocala real estate?
Yeah, he was good at that. And in fact, he used to be a coach at Florida in basketball who used to do that with Augie Griner Jr. at all the tip-off club. It was really funny. Anyway, so we digress, but good to have you back. We missed you last time around. Darla Priest filled in nicely.
Good.
And I told her the name Wally Pip. Have you know that name at all, Wally Pip? It's something significant to know because Wally Pip's the guy who was playing first base for the Yankees. And it was a guy sitting on the bench named Lou Gehrig. And Wally Pip had a headache one day and took the day off. And Lou Gehrig got in and never stopped playing, set the record for most consecutive games. So
wow.
When you say somebody got Wally Pipped,
wow.
So
I better watch out for
Darla. No, she had nice things to say about you. She was, of course, her usual charming self and very informed. And you know a lot of people that are real estate realtors, and there's some good ones like everything. There's some not quite as good, but. You in talking to the realtors in town, do you sense a little upbeat mood?
Well, there's no question about it. Over the past several months, there's been, the trends are moving in the right direction. I saw something the other day where Krista McCall said that, she had one of the best weeks and best months that she'd had, in several years. And I'm just getting that general sentiment from everybody that I bump into that things are moving in a positive direction. With that being said, things are seasonal to some degree. And, when we get to July in Florida, things slow down a little bit. So I was just looking at statistical reports today. And 2014 year-to-date is up something like 15% over year-to-date similar time frame in 2013.
The number of sales or volume, or is it money?
All the way around. Okay. I mean, everything's up. And the days on the market where housing products primarily, or how long you would expect to wait if you have your home priced hopefully somewhere near what the market value would be. The days on the market is shrinking. That's always a very good sign. The inventory, I've heard some brokers and realtors say that the inventory is getting a little tougher to find. There's not as many people putting their house on the market, so that starts shrinking the supply. If you got a steady demand, price goes up. So everything's moving in a good direction. But this time of year, again, if you start looking at a month-to-month comparison, it's slower in June and July than it was in April and May.
So, I hear you talk about this. I'm thinking of all the statistics and sabermetrics in baseball and sports. Everybody has numbers and formulas and whatever. You're a guy who reads a ton of stuff, and you just ticked off a bunch of numbers. Is there, or have you ever thought about doing a key metric where you took all those factors you just said and putting them into an index so you could rank the day?
Well, I think there's a lot of people out there that wish they had that magic silver bullet like that, where they could just wake up every day and look at what the index was for whether it be the stock market or real estate or any type of investment like that, and wish they could just, place all their money on, on the roulette wheel, based on that metric. But I think there are many metrics, and it changes from one type of product in one geographical area to another. That's one of the very unique things about real estate is every property is unique. And when you cross the street, sometimes it changes. And then when you go from 1 month to the next, sometimes it changes. So it's really difficult to come up with a metric that's sort of a catch-all. Hey, these numbers, you put them in a formula and it outspits a buy or sell. And I think that real estate is not so investment driven. Now, there are certainly commercial real estate, and even in some cases land is very investment driven. But housing typically should not be that investment driven. It's more of why does somebody buy a house? Most of the time they should be buying it to live in it. So it's got more of a utilitarian purpose than just to invest in it. Now, do they want to make a good investment so they can sell it down the road, get their money back, and hopefully then some? Absolutely. So the buyer has to be aware and wary of the market conditions so they make a good buying decision, but also the bank loaning the money needs to also be careful about those type things. And the appraisal side of that is supposed to somewhat add a little credibility to which way the trends are moving. But as we have learned, like in 2005, 2006, everybody, including Alan Greenspan, who was the Fed chairman at the time, thought, hey, we were just going to keep partying on into the next decade. And
party like it's 1999, right?
And it didn't really work out that way.
It didn't, as we all know. And incidentally, I'm just started thinking about, and this is Dave Cope. This is the State of Real Estate. I want to thank our sponsor, one of our sponsors, and get well to Raymond Andrews too. He's having a little.
Yeah, he's hobbling around on one foot.
For Regents Bank, for one of our sponsors of this show. Just ponder this for a minute, and maybe we'll address it now or after the break. But let's just say there was such an index, and just based on what you said right there. Number of days on the market, emerging market price, whatever you want, number of units on the market. Because you got it in your head, you spit it out all those facts. Mm-hmm. And I said to you, all right, let's have a scale of 1 to 20 on what this day is like. And I said to you, Dave, today you just told me you got a 12.5 on a scale of 1 to 20, which is better than average. Is it a good day to sell or a good day to buy? You see, I'm going with this is obviously total fabricated. But what would you say in terms of how the wind is blowing? If you want to take a minute and think about it, we can do that. But if I said, which way is the wind blowing? Right now, today, as of this moment, if you had, and then in the end, it's still a guess. I mean, it's an educated guess, but it's a hunch or it's a guess or a feeling that you buy. You've bought a lot of properties and sold a lot of properties. It still has to do with this is a good time to do this. What would you say? Buy, sell.
You want an answer right now?
You can think about it if you want. We'll come back.
I'll think about it for a moment and
come back. Dave Cope, State of Real Estate, right here on the Voice of Ocala. Stay tuned to
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Hi, it's Lisa Midget with Kinetic Motion Fitness. I'm looking forward to a fun, healthy summer, and I have a few ideas that might just help you and your friends stay in shape and have fun too. Along with awesome personal training and group classes at our warm and inviting fitness studio, we also offer fitness classes at your home or business. And if you're tired of the same old, boring cake and punch party, why not let us host a hot new health trend, a fitness party at your home or office? If you're having a hard time getting to the gym this summer, because of your crazy schedule, then work out with your friends or coworkers in a private group fitness class or host a fitness party at your home or office. We will bring you and your friends or coworkers one of our great workouts like Zumba, Pilates, Body Bar, Yoga, Tai Chi, Boot Camp, or Zumba Tomics for kids. We can even help you reach your long-term goals by meeting at your place weekly for an on-location workout. Check out our website at kmfocala.com and like us on Facebook. Kinetic Motion Fitness is located just 5 minutes from downtown Ocala near the Skylark Plaza. Kinetic Motion Fitness. We're ready when you are.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's Business National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on. Need a car? Need financing? Need somebody to cut through the red tape and send you rolling down the highway? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Got great credit and just prefer a quality pre-owned car at a fair price from somebody you can trust? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Want to avoid high pressure to feel appreciated and be able to choose from a wide selection of AutoCheck and Carfax certified vehicles? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Prestige Auto Sales in Ocala and Bellevue. Prestige, it's all there in our name.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Frederick's Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Frederick's Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Frederick's Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Frederick's Appliance.
Hi, I'm Leah Caruso with Strive Rehabilitation, inviting you to join me Thursday at 11 a.m. for Health Matters. Ocala Health and Strive have teamed up to bring you the latest information on good health services available to you right here at home. This vital information will help you make informed decisions about your health. So don't forget to join me here at 11 a.m. Thursday. It's news you can use from Ocala Health, Strive, and your friends here at WOCA.
Your home is safe, or is it? AA Lock, Dock, and Security. The name has been a staple in Ocala since 1985. Do you have the right equipment in place to have peace of mind when you are at home or away? AA Lock, Dock, and Security has the right people to install and monitor your home or business. Call today for a free on-site security analysis. Call 867-1965. AA Lock, Dock, and Security, 219 Northwest 10th Street, 867-1965.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
WOCA. I live for the applause, applause, applause. I live for the applause, applause. Live for the applause, applause. Live for the way that you cheer and scream for me.
Back with David Cope on the State of Real Estate, sponsored in part by Regis Bank, Raymond Andrews' team. We asked you if you could do like a metric in your head real fast and invent some kind of little magic number and said, okay, today is the best day to do what? Blank, buy or sell. What would you say?
Well, my answer to that question, buddy, I remember when I first got in real estate in the late 80s, and you may remember back to those times when there was some changes in the tax law, as what some people blamed it on. But in any case, when I first got in real estate, it was really tough. There was not any buyers. Everybody wanted to sell. Nobody wanted to buy. That was a very good time to buy. Now, you didn't know it until you look back a few years, but my career really progressed and progressed and progressed all the way up through 2005 when we kind of went over a couple speed bumps there, and by 2006, 2007, we were kind of back in that same situation again, going, well, where did all the buyers go? Well, at this point in time, I think we have buyers that have come back, and I think the market is in some kind of more of a state of equilibrium, and it depends. Your question is, would you buy or would you sell right now?
Right now, today.
I would probably be a little bit more in the buying mode than I would be in the selling mode, but I'll qualify that with it really depends an awful lot on where the location is and what it is. But I would just there is so much liquidity coming out of Wall Street that is filtered down into the investment pools, where commercial real estate is no doubt it's back. You know, everybody's saddled back up and getting ready to ride again.
Got to find a place to put that money. The market's at 17,000.
Exactly, and so commercial products are selling for as much or more than ever right now, and they're selling at a pretty strong pace. The residential speaking, I think, depends a lot more on. Are there more buyers right now, or are there more sellers? And I think there was so much kind of a funny thing. There was so many people stuck in their houses that still want to get out. If the price ever comes back close to where they can get out, they're getting
bailing.
out. They'll
Sitting
make,
there just waiting to bail.
So I think there's some shadow inventory sort of out there in that regard that
That's a good
keeps the
name,
market kind of soft in certain product niches. But on the other hand, I've heard a few people say that in some product price ranges and in certain geographic market areas, there's a real short supply, almost no supply, and that's when we start seeing new home construction. So we're starting to kind of move back a little bit in that direction, starting to see some new home
That's what I was
construction.
going to ask you, Dave. You talked about there's existing home buyers and the market's starting to show some small inventory in some areas. How much new home construction? Because I know when I drive around Marion County, there's a lot of, and I keep bringing up Irish Acres. No offense to the ownership group there, but I live right near there. There's a lot of lots out there just sitting empty. Is new home construction the next avenue? Is that the way it's going to go once existing gets in short supply, or is there new home construction going on now?
Well, in Orlando, Tampa, especially in Orlando, I hear that there's a lot of new home construction going on there. And I think what the problem is here in Marion County, we haven't really had enough job creation to trickle back down into the, if you want to call it the mid-level sort of new.
180,000.
Yeah, exactly. Move up housing. Entry level housing typically in Marion County is around 100, 120,000. Sometimes a little less, but when you look at the move-up markets at 150 to 200, 225, there's been no demand for that product for some time, and I think we're finally starting to see inventory shrink in some of these neighborhoods. I developed one or two of them, Dalton Woods, the Arbors, starting to see enough. There's becoming a shortage of inventory there. So, just this past couple weeks ago, I sold a lot in Dalton Woods. I had one lot left there. From developing the subdivision 10 years ago, and I had a builder call me up and bought the lot. And that's the first time it's happened in 5 or 6 years. So when builders start buying lots like that, that's a very good sign.
Somebody else said the other day, I was talking to someone who used to be in the building business, and he asked a friend who's in construction, he said, "Are you a gambler?" He said, "I build houses, don't I?" You got to really, I'm telling you something, I'm preaching to the choir, but I mean, you're like farmers. Farmers they're subjected to the markets and the rain and the wind and the weather. You never know what you're going to get. And as a builder, developer, it's the old Kenny Rogers sign: know when to hold them, know when to fold them, isn't it? And it's got to take a lot of guts. You've been one. What's that like when you're on the edge out there, not knowing which way the market's going to blow?
Well, again, in 2020 hindsight, there was a whole lot of people that borrowed, too much money betting on the future of real estate.
They were giving it away, weren't they?
And the banks were loaning a lot of money, but everybody perceived that demand was going to be there continuously for several more years. What you're talking about, the risk of building, one spec house there's some risk with that, but you finish up the spec house in 9 months, you put it on the market, and you hope you sell it within 2 or 3 months after you get it built. And if that all happens, then the next time around, you might get bold enough to build, 2 spec houses. And right now, we're just starting to see a couple of builders out there in the marketplace starting to build a couple of spec houses here and there. Most of them are building one at a time. But, when the market was hot, those guys were building 5 or 6 of them at a time. Then you've got the big national builders, which they came into the Ocala market to some degree, like Pulte came in and built 4 Ranch. But that, I don't think we're going to see that again, for quite some time, possibly, not any time soon. Hopefully it returns. I liked it better when we had more local builders involved in the market. I think it spread the risk out. And personally, I also thought the customer got a better product and, better deal out of the situation when they're buying from local builders or who have a reputation that's staked, on their name right here in this community.
Yeah, Dave Cope, State of Real Estate Show, and we're talking about building, the risk of building. Of course, the other thing about it is that you have to have labor. Right now, if you started building houses, you might be a little short on the labor side right now.
I understand that some people have had a little bit of issue with that, but for the most part, I think that there was a lot of people out there that had to move into other professions, maybe to cover the bases. But I think that a lot of those kind of people are willing to come back into if they're going to make good money. And these guys, for a while, all the way from pouring the slab for the foundation up to, through the framing business and on up right through the sticking the mailbox in the front yard, and the sod guys and everything were making great money for a while. And I think there's probably a lot of guys out there who would love to get back into those kind of things if the money's there.
Yeah, got to be the money. Question I want to ask you about, I don't know if you had another one, Tom, but I want to ask you about the field of real estate, selling real estate. It's very lucrative to some people. It's been tough last 5 or 6 years. Now you're hearing the stories more and more and more about selling real estate. For a long time, a lot of people, it seemed like everybody was a realtor. Now, not so much. Now there seems to be a pent-up demand for realtors in some regards because they're, if what I'm hearing, and I have something very close to me is about to go to Tampa, St. Pete area and go into real estate. And the person that this person is working for has had a phenomenal last 6 months and last year. She can't do all the business, and she needs this person to come there and work because they need help. So there's a demand for realtors all of a sudden. Realtors are making good money in this community?
Again, I think that there are some realtors here in Marion County that are doing just fine. I mean, some of the people that always knew the formula of how to deliver good service and do it on a every day in, day out basis, they struggle, to some degree. But I think those same people, if they're putting in the work, are putting hay in the barn right now. And especially I hear in the retiree markets, in these retirement communities, that there are people making very good money there. And there's a few other people that I know that have paid their dues. Even in the commercial real estate, there's a handful of guys here in Ocala that paid their dues over the years, and they're doing just fine right now. But I mean, they struggled for, like everybody, for 2 or 3 years. But I think we're back to what would be considered a much more normal market. It's always kind of hard to say normal relative to what. But I think if you look back at the late 90s, early 2000s maybe, that was more of a representative of a normal market. We got, obviously an inflated market in probably 2002 through
people were standing in line to buy condos. I was one of them, by the way. It was down in Charlotte County. I had to wait in line to buy a condo.
Right.
You hear people like Raymond Andrews came on the show. Raymond Andrews, his mortgage group, helped sponsor the show. And he said that there's money out there to lend. Are you finding, by talking to real estate agents and all, that there's enough money out there being lent to help with the real estate market?
What I hear, Tom, is that from the bank side of it, they say, well, yeah, we've got money to lend, but they're very restrictive and detailed about how qualified you are.
They're crossing the I's and dotting the T's this time.
This time, there in 2005, the old saying, if you could fog a mirror, they'd loan you the money. Now, evidently, the pendulum has swung all the way to the other end where they want you, they want to laser scan your fingerprints and your retina.
And your firstborn.
And check out, you got to sign over your firstborn.
So they overcorrected way to the other side.
So it's evidently it's very difficult to qualify for, especially for mortgages that might be sold to Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac on the secondary mortgage market. The federal government then is the one that puts out, the standards that they have to meet to sell those mortgages.
The FHAs are the one that apparently that are selling that they'll be able to get. That seems to be easier to get FHA-backed mortgages. So I don't know. Well, that's what a banker told me anyway. But David, final 2 minutes. You always hear a lot of speculation and rumors and stuff in the community and about this happening and that happening. You talk to a lot of people about a lot of things. Have you heard any good gossip, rumors about what's happening? Anything new coming here in terms of building? Anything going on that you could share with us that you hear? You wonder if it's true or not. I'm not going to hold you to it, but what are you hearing out there?
Well, there's always a couple of little things circling around. I mean, the little things. I mean, for one, I know that Scramble's restaurant over in a plaza on the southeast side of town is selling. Right. The new buyers are taking over that restaurant, so that's. Hopefully good for the former owners of Scrambles and good for the shopping center owner and all of that.
Yeah, that's been there for quite a long time in a building you're familiar with, and we wish them the best, by the way.
Right. And then on a larger scale, not that anybody wants to delve into the Hobby Lobby story, but Hobby Lobby right here in Ocala has got an expansion going on where they're adding 15,000 more feet. It's amazing that store is already something like 50,000 feet.
It's huge.
They're adding 15,000 more feet onto the Hobby Lobby. There's a big car dealership going out here west of town.
I heard about
the BMW, Porsche, and a VW dealership out there.
Frank DeLuca's place is not finished. That's huge over there,
That's
too.
a gigantic expansion at Frank DeLuca's. The YMCA is expanding.
Yeah. So somebody's building something.
Well, there's a lot of construction going on. If you talk to the commercial construction guys, there's a little bit more going on than you would first imagine.
All right, David, it's always good to talk to you. Thanks for coming in. We'll see you here again in 2 weeks, and it's always good to catch up and to get your insights on what's happening, because all real estate is local in the end, just like politics. David Cope. Thanks, David. Appreciate that.
Thanks for being here.
Stay tuned. Coming up next, how do you deal with other people's bad behavior? Well, I'm going to help you out on this. Next, right here on The Voice of Ocala.
You heard that, didn't you, Hunter? 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Like that's what you want to do. Bring me down. Can't none bring me down.
It's the ultimate summer staycation, just minutes from downtown Ocala, but miles away from the ordinary. A summer sports or summer golf membership at Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club is your all-inclusive ticket to a summer filled with activities and fun from June through September. A summer membership at Golden Ocala opens the door to a world-class setting. Is golf your game? Is tennis your passion? Or is lounging poolside more your speed? Want to get in shape? Work out in the state-of-the-art fitness center and then relax and unwind in the sauna or the spa. Summer members also have use of the Equestrian Center at Golden Ocala, offering full board and paddock, impeccable trails, and a jumping ring for riders of all ages. Summer memberships are going fast, so visit goldenocala.com and explore the options. Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club. This summer, you can live there and still play here.
Are you a business owner looking for a new and innovative way to reach consumers by thinking outside of the box? Well, here's a great new idea that thinks inside the box. Value Box. Value Box is a beautiful recipe box that features your business's profile on the front of recipe cards with a personal recipe on the back. With Value Box, a business's name can stay in front of their customers for years. They also offer an app for your iPhone or iPad for those who cook in the 21st century. So if it's time for your business to think outside the box to reach consumers, start by thinking inside the box with Value Box. For more information, you can contact Chuck Henderson of Value Box USA at 352-433-5301. That's 352-433-5301. Or by email, chuck@valueboxusa.com.
Fox News Radio, I'm Jane Metzler. Watches and warnings in effect to the Virginia border as Arthur heads north from Florida.
There's a hurricane watch posted for much of North Carolina's coast, but local and state agencies are planning for more than just a coastal strike.
It could really make landfall and come over a little bit farther inland. So we have to be prepared for any eventuality.
That's Mike Sprayberry, North Carolina's emergency management chief.
Fox Radio's Evan Brown. First, the kidnapped killings of 3 Israeli teens, one with dual U.S. citizenship. Now, a Palestinian teen abducted. His burned body found in what's being called a revenge attack, fearing more violence.
We want to see both sides acting responsibly.
White House spokesman Josh Earnest. 5 still critical after a propane tank sparked an explosion on a food truck in Philadelphia. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Discover just how deep your American roots go for free this 4th of July weekend. That's right, get free access, but only for a limited time. Visit tryancestry.com anytime this Wednesday through Sunday only, and you'll have 100% free access to our most popular U.S. Census collections. Find birthplaces, occupations, military service records, and so much more. Hurry, free access with unlimited hours is only for a short time. Visit tryancestry.com. That's TRY Ancestry.com. Tryancestry.com.
Know how.
When cologne is on sale for $3.49 a quart, you don't stock up. When scented bubble bath is on sale for $3.49 a quart, you definitely don't stock up. But now that Napa has Castrol GTX oil on sale for $3.49 a quart, you stock up your garage, your shed, maybe even your bathroom cabinets. Conquer the job with Napa Know-How. General states pricing. Sales prices do not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Offer expires.
Yeehaw! Howdy, folks. RL here to invite you to DQ. Dairy Queen is serving the crispiest, juiciest, most tasty chicken tenders, all beef chili dogs, and quarter-pound cheeseburgers on earth. And you get crispy fries, a drink, and an ice cream sundae of your choice for only $5. Remember, at DQ, you can lick their cones, but you can't beat their shakes. Dairy Queen, Silver Springs, where they always treat you like kings and queens.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
News Talk 1370 WOCA invites you to discover your full business potential. News Talk Radio is the perfect environment for your advertising. WOCA's News Talk format pinpoints information-hungry, better educated, high-income adults. So use us to talk to them. Call 732-8000. 732-8000. We're Ocala News Talk Radio. News Talk 1370 WOCA.
Hey, I'm Gary. And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara.
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
Just looking at some comments on Facebook on the column I posted about soccer is not football, soccer ain't football, back and forth. In fact, David Cope's comments are on that. And discussion about whether or not it was a blip on the ratings or if it really counts or if it's something it's a real movement. And it's the same argument, discussion about whether or not soccer has a foothold. And I think it does have a bit of a foothold. How much remains to be seen, but we'll save that discussion for another day. World Cup is over as far as we're concerned here.
Are we still talking soccer?
But a great performance yesterday by the goalie, Tim Howard, in one of the great, really, performances you could ever see of an athlete. Too bad he had to be on a losing team. The United States lost to Belgium, and that's the name of that tune. So there you go. On to the subject of how to deal with other people's bad behavior. Hunter, you got to help me out on the story a little bit. Okay?
I'm sorry. Was that?
There are just some people who do things that are annoying, don't they, Hunter? They just, they just simply annoy you.
Well, I agree with that, Hunter.
Is there some? I keep hearing a noise in my headset. Actually, is there somebody talking? I don't know. So this is a story from Wall Street Journal. I didn't make this up. I didn't tailor make it for anybody in this program. I'm just saying this is part of the story. They have something they call, they have allergens, and they're grouped by 4 different categories. The first group is people with uncouth habits. Dr. Cunningham, who studied the phenomenon for more than 15 years, says social allergens can be grouped in 4 main types, depending on whether the behavior is intentional or not, whether directed personally. So the first group is uncouth habits. They are unintentional and aren't directed personally. They include noisily chewing gum or talking loudly into a phone in a crowded public space. Quote, the person isn't really thinking of you, even though the behavior has implications for you, says Dr. Cunningham.
I don't do either of those.
Yeah. I'm guilty of talking too loud on the phone.
But you usually walk outside when you're talking on the phone, so you don't disturb others.
Sometimes I don't. I figure I'm pretty bad at that.
But most of the time you do.
Most of the time. Second habit category is called egocentric actions. That's why it's about me, 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 me. How do you know anybody like that at all? I don't know.
I do.
Oh, wait. Wait a minute. Like I said,
I'll be the first person to tell you I love me some me.
Diamond, like I said, if the shoe fits, wear it. That's all I'm going to say, okay, about that. Now, here's that group. This category, these behaviors aren't necessarily intentional, but they are directed personally at you. Just so you know.
They're intentional.
There's the friend who keeps you on the phone 45 minutes after you said you can only talk 5. Or the family member who never orders dessert at the table but eats all of yours. Hey, one thing about me, don't touch my plate.
Yeah, no.
I don't want anybody with their fork and spoon in my plate.
Don't come nowhere near my plate.
My family knows that. Don't touch my food. All right, that's one thing I told them. This person isn't thinking about you, but the behavior affects you specifically. Number 3 are these how to deal with bad behavior, these social allergens, as they call them. It encompasses offensive behaviors that are intentional but impersonal. Examples include smoking right outside the front door,
which is almost everybody at the mall.
Talking in a theater and texting while driving.
That'll get you shot.
Oh, texting in the theater will get somebody shot.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't do that. You do that?
No. I turn my cell phone off or leave it in the car.
All right. So anybody here in this group want to fess up to any of these things they've done so far? Anybody?
You text in the theater, Ashley?
You got text you drive, text you to the theater?
I bet Ashley texts in the theater.
No, actually, I'm one of the few teenagers who turns off my phone in the movie theater. I tell my friends, talk to you later.
Now, Diamond's not saying anything. I don't know. Maybe it's just...
Actually, I have texted in a theater before.
Well, I have too before, but I mean, not lately.
Right, but I make sure my phone is turned on silent so that it doesn't disturb anybody. But
except for one thing, the light comes on.
Yeah, the light is very bright, so
that's killing me, Diamond. Those lights are killing me.
That can be an issue.
I know, I do it too. So, all right, so Hunter's
you
silent.
do
He's
any
not
of those?
saying much. He's
I text in the theater all the time.
Exactly.
I know you're that guy. See, I can tell. This is time to come to Dr.
Hunter,
Buddy with confessions today. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Hunter gets away with a lot of stuff. I've been with Hunter at social gatherings and at golf tournaments and all. Hunter does a lot of stuff because he knows nobody's going to say anything to him about it.
All right, here's one, Hunter, that you're going to be nodding your head on when I say this because you're going to know somebody like this, I can tell you. The 4th category and most irritating social allergen includes actions that are both intentional and directed personally. It may be...
Buddy, who are you talking about? What's going on?
Maybe an imperious command, quote, bring me some coffee, will you? Unquote.
Exactly.
Okay?
Exactly. I know
Are you really going to eat that? Or you bought a car, I thought you were saving for college.
There you go.
Those kind of people who have blurred out their opinions. The person may not have meant to make you feel bad, but you do. So there are 4 kinds. Any thought?
I need you to go get me coffee from Starbucks, Hunter.
All right. You guys know anybody like that at all? Anybody? Ashley, Diamond, Hunter, whatever?
I do. I know somebody like that.
Somebody. Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
You know,
me.
Speaking of that, the thing that gets me the most of all is people who are really inconsiderate. In golf, you learn one thing. You learn when you're playing golf, if you're playing slow and you're holding people up behind you, get out the way.
If you're
it's called playing through.
If you're playing in front of Tom and you don't get out the way, I will send you a reminder off the driver.
But of course, that makes two wrongs then when you do that. So
drop it right in on you.
So here's the thing. I have a few of these little peccadillos, as Donnie Carson used to call them.
Yes.
Like when I go to Starbucks, as I did the other day here in the mall, sweet lady working behind the counter, and I stand there. I only got 3 minutes during the break to get coffee, and I see one couple in line. They've already got their order in. What are the odds you're going to get your order in there? Pretty good, right? Yeah. Except when the couple ahead of you says, now, I need to know the details of what's in this coffee and how much sugar you got in it. And she says, well, let me go look it up. I'm standing there waiting, okay. Comes back, well, I'm not sure. Let me call the manager. You know, I'm saying, okay. I'm thinking, is this going to end anytime soon? And finally, as you know, I missed it. I missed the break. I came back into the show and started. That's probably my fault for thinking they can get it done. But still, the people didn't have any consideration for people who might be in a hurry, etc. And here's the worst one for me. And you know what it is. You heard me talk about it.
You hate this.
When I go out to dinner.
Can I get your order, please, sir?
Now, when I go out to dinner.
Is there anything I can do for you, sir?
Right, what I don't like.
Can I get your order?
is people like Tom. Is that when I am engaged, I like to talk. Sometimes I've been waiting for a long time to have a private conversation with somebody, personal of nature, and I kind of build up to it and I wait. And so I'm sitting there and I'm talking, and I've asked 3 or 4 questions, got a great response going, about to say something really meaningful, and here comes, let me tell you about the specials. I don't care about the specials. First of all, I don't order specials. Secondly, stand back and wait until I'm finished my conversation. This drives me crazy. It drives me insane.
Do you know that the public of Ocala has benefited from that being one of your pet peeves? And I'll tell you why. I used to, until you made that point to me, I used to, when I'd go around to my trivia, as you know, I do my trivia, I would just walk up to people in the middle of their conversation and say, hey, would y'all like to play trivia? And interrupt them. Now I wait until, if I go to a table and they're deep in conversation, I'll wait a few seconds. If the conversation don't break, I move to the next table, and then I'll come back to that table. All because Buddy Martin's pet peeve is somebody that comes up in the middle of the conversation and says, hey, let me tell you about the specials.
It could be anything. It just happens to be one of my really, really pet peeves. Okay, now let's talk about something else. You know how you get these bills over the years on your cell phone, you don't know what they are, and you can't figure out what they are, especially early on. Like, what is this for? Taxes this. You think, what? I thought this cell phone cost this much money, and whatever. Well, they caught some folks at doing stuff. You know, you heard about this story?
No, I have not.
T-Mobile caught red-handed overcharging. The government has really got in trouble. And what might be the uncarriers and worst blunder in years, T-Mobile is being sued by the Federal Trade Commission after it was discovered that the provider has allegedly been placing bogus charges on customers' phone bills for premium SMS texting subscriptions, which in many cases were never actually authorized by the subscriber. See, I told you we didn't know what was on that bill.
What premium SMS?
I couldn't tell you, but it's what it says. According to the FTC, T-Mobile received anywhere from 35% to 40% of the total amount charged to customers for unwanted subscriptions to, quote, flirting tips, horoscope information, or celebrity gossip that typically costs $9.99 a month.
You said.
T-Mobile apparently continued to collect its percentage years after the charges was discovered. They kept on. So they are in trouble. I noticed last night watching the Rays game, there was a big special on T-Mobile. I don't know if it had anything to do with that or not. But, you know, that's one of those things. Just like
I almost switched over to T-Mobile last weekend, but now I'm not going to do it.
Got some cash, you'd be out of some cash if you did. So, again, like I said, you don't trust Facebook when you read stories about how they altered your news feed. You get these bills and you say, there you go, somebody's ripping you off all the time. You kind of suspected it might. Well, guess what? T-Mobile customers, you got ripped off, just so you want to know.
Wow.
All right, come back. We'll finish up. I'll tell you about how do you think the president's doing these days? You might be a little surprised when you hear this. And we'll wrap it up with tweets and quotes coming your way right here on Hour 2. The Voice of Ocala coming up at 5 o'clock, 5:15. John Brantley, Celtics football coach, and raconteur will be here. And also at 5:35 today, we'll talk about the national champions, the Florida State Seminoles, with the guy who covers them for the Tallahassee Democrat, Ira Schofel. All coming your way this afternoon on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name.
Regions Bank has big bank ability but possesses small bank agility. Utilizing tools like Raymond Andrews and his team of 6 mortgage experts with 100 years of experience in the mortgage industry and 50 years experience as members of the Regions Bank team. Mortgage lending is personal and important, and you deserve someone that will lead you through a positive process. Raymond and his team use local mortgaging processes like local appraisers and local closing to help you have a positive experience, and they habla Espanol as well. So whether you need a conventional, FHA, USDA, or VA loan, or you even need a construction loan, the mortgage team of your local Regions Bank has the knowledge and experience to guide you through the process. So contact Raymond Andrews and his team of mortgage experts at 352-854-4104. That's 352-854-4104. Regions Bank. It's time to expect more.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my
too.
seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new truck.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Tropical storm watches in effect along the coast. Tropical storm Arthur continues to intensify, located some 95 miles to the east-southeast of Cape Canaveral and moving slowly north. The storm will bring drenching downpours to the coast along with rough surf and dangerous rip currents tomorrow into Friday. Today, mostly cloudy with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm and becoming windy this afternoon, the high 88 to 92. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Now is the time to take advantage of Florida Credit Union's CD specials. Our 36-month CD comes in at 1.26% APY. A 24-month is working for you at 1.0% APY. And our 12-month at 0.75% APY. All CD rate specials require $10,000 minimum. With friendly service and rates like these, it's not hard to see why Florida Credit Union has your CD options covered. Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life. Call 352-237-8222 for more information. Must act by 1/15/14.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Some nights I stay up, cashing in my bad luck. Some nights I call it a draw. Some nights I wish that my lips could build a castle. Some nights I wish they just fall off. But I still wake up, I still see your gospel. Lord, I'm still not sure what I stand for. What do I stand for? What do I stand for?
Ashley spinning some good tunes. Who is that, Ashley?
That's fun.
Fun? I like that a lot. That's really good. Is that off an album of any kind or just single? What's it called? Look it up.
Called Some Nights.
That's good. Put that in rotation, Tom. I like that a lot. That's a good tune. Okay.
Fun.
Huh? Fun.
Fun.
Yeah, right. Fun.
Fun
like this
tune.
show. Fun.
Fun.
When it's over. Anyway, I'm just saying.
Who's on first?
I saw this story, but I haven't had a chance to open it up, and I wish I had a chance. Apparently, a plane's cabin flooded, a pipe burst, and sent a river running down the aisles. The New York Post story, maybe you can find that story. I wasn't able to find it, but can you imagine being in a plane, all of a sudden the whole river comes roaring down the aisle in front? I got to fly tomorrow, too. I'm just thinking about that. Okay, so I'm not big on ratings too much of the president. I know that the Congress ratings stink. And in general, when the country's in a foul mood, everybody downgrades everybody. But now, for the first time, people are starting to talk more about President Obama's ratings. He's a second-term president. And what happens? Second-term presidents, they lose political capital. After about 2 years, they become almost lame ducks, and they lose their political capital. It's happened to Clinton. It's happened to Bush. It's happened to, now it's happened to Clinton, according to Obama. According to the story I'm reading on the Yahoo, apparently, when asked a question and discussed with dread at family Thanksgiving dinners, a plurality of voters, 33% believe President Obama is the worst president since World War II.
Yeah, I believe
Now,
that.
yeah, right. He's worse than Nixon. Come on, man.
He is worse than
Oh,
Nixon.
sure he is. Yeah, let's see. Who got impeached? Oh, wait a minute. He resigned.
He's a much worse president than Nixon.
I lived through,
I lived through Nixon, too.
Yeah, well, anyway, you have a colored agenda.
You're the journalist, I'm the historian, but who's keeping track?
I'm just saying I can think of 2 or 3 presidents a lot worse. And by the way, since when can you judge a president while he's still in office?
Don't say James Carter, because James Carter wasn't.
You can't judge a president while he's in office. Let's let history speak about that and see what happens to the policies and what goes on. You can take a political rhetoric, whatever you want to, and position on it, and you can go off on it one way or the other. The bottom line is that we'll see.
Compared to the presidents since 68, in my opinion, he's the worst. The best, William Jefferson Clinton.
Yeah, well, George Bush was, by the way,
George W. He's battling Obama. George W. the one that just left office,
5% lower.
Well, yeah, they're battling each other for worst president. Believe me.
So I don't put too much in it. Now the Quinnipiac poll is where this is taken. They're pretty reputable, but that's the one they're talking about right now. I can think of a lot other worse presidents than President Obama. Well, I think it hadn't been all that bad, but that's just me.
Qantas flight. There's a Qantas flight from Los Angeles.
What happened?
By the way. Pipes burst, and they had to move people.
What pipes? What pipes? I mean,
the plumbing pipes for the latrines and stuff.
That's a sewer, for crying out loud.
No, the running water for the sinks and the toilets and everything.
That's been an awful big pipe. For the
flooded
flood to come
part
down.
of the plane. They had to divert and come back after 1 hour.
Amazing. Okay. Not to wind up with a negative story today, because I don't want to do that, but we'll wind up with our tweets and quotes for today. We didn't get to the story yesterday, we promised, but we'll get to that when we get back from out of town. We're discussing 8 bad habits when you fall into in work. We'll discuss that next week. Or I'll leave it for you tomorrow. How about that?
Okay, that works.
All right, tweets and quotes. We're going to go out with this. Let's see if we can keep it on the up. There's some uplifting stuff today, Hunter. I want you to know that. Number 1, a person who aims at nothing is assured that they will hit it. Unknown author. Number 2, pain is nothing compared to what it feels like to quit.
Yes.
Quote Sue. This comes from Washington Irving. Great minds have purposes, others have wishes. It's 2 hours of just supercharged entertainment and information for you here on the show, as it is every weekday. Tomorrow, Tom, I'll have a great show for you. By the way, is Angie going to be here tomorrow?
I have not contacted Angie, but she
texted me this morning.
I'm going to have someone from the Humane Society on, Katie from the Humane Society. I'm also going to give you 15 words that we now have in the English language because of Seinfeld.
That'll be good. Be sure and catch Tom tomorrow. All right, coming up next, John Brantley, Irish Showfeld, Buddy Sports Page. Stay tuned to the Voice of Ocala, 1370 AM.
96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
But you walked across my heart like it was Texas, and you taught me how to say.
Hey, Eddie, I'm playing Augusta in a few hours, and I need a 4th. Want to join us?
Georgia's close, but it's not that close, Alex.
Not Georgia, Golden Ocala. I'm a member at Golden Ocala, and this course has 8 tribute holes, like number 12 and 13. You know, part of Amen Corner, and the postage stamp, and the road hole. It's a phenomenal track. My family and I always have a great time at the pool and at the restaurants. They've got 3, you know. The kids love the tennis programs. My wife practically lives at the spa, and I've been bulking up with a personal trainer in their fitness center. Joining Golden Ocala was one of the best decisions I've ever made, aside from marrying my wife, of course. So you want to join us in a few hours?
Absolutely. I can't wait to play the first hole in golf and the road hole too. Hey, how do I become a member at Golden Ocala?
Eddie, just call 352-402-4343.
Luxury and great golf is affordable at Golden Ocala. Call 352-402-4343 to join.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on. Need a car? Need financing? Need somebody to cut through the red tape and send you rolling down the highway? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Got great credit and just prefer a quality pre-owned car at a fair price from somebody you can trust? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Want to avoid high pressure to feel appreciated and be able to choose from a wide selection of AutoCheck and Carfax certified vehicles? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Prestige Auto Sales in Ocala and Bellevue. Prestige, it's all there in our name.
Keeping you in touch with Ocala. WOCA.
How good does it get?
Golf has long been considered to be sport's most prestigious game, and WOCA has your connection to everything in the golf world. Every first and third Thursday at 10 a.m., tune in for Let's Talk Golf with your host, PGA professional and teacher to the stars, Jim Beckett, and operations manager for the links of Spruce Creek South, Darren Irwin, right here on The Source.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
Hi, I'm Leah Caruso with Strive Rehabilitation, inviting you to join me Thursday at 11 a.m. for Health Matters. Ocala Health and Strive have teamed up to bring you the latest information on good health services available to you right here at home. This vital information will help you make informed decisions about your health. So don't forget to join me here at 11 a.m. Thursday. It's news you can use from Ocala Health, Strive, and your friends here at WOCA.
Your home is safe, or is it? AA Lock, Dock, and Security. The name has been a staple in Ocala since 1985. Do you have the right equipment in place to have peace of mind when you are at home or away? AA Lock, Dock, and Security has the right people to install and monitor your home or business. Call today for a free on-site security analysis. Call 867-1965. AA Lock, Dock, and Security, 219 Northwest 10th Street, 867-1965.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
We are The Source, WOCA. Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Jane Metzler.
Hurricane watch continues in effect for portions of the North Carolina coastline.
Dennis Feltgen with the National Hurricane Center, as Arthur is expected to make a mess of the July 4th weekend, especially along North Carolina's Outer Banks. Keeping interest rates at record lows, the Fed's plan, at least for now.
Some are concerned rock-bottom rates could destabilize the financial system, but Fed Chair Janet Yellen says raising rates is the wrong way to go.
Efforts to promote financial stability through adjustments in interest rates would increase the volatility of inflation and employment.
In remarks at a conference sponsored by the International Monetary Fund, Yellen said using more regulatory tools is a better strategy.
Fox Radio's Rachel Sutherland. The Dow up 20, the Nasdaq down a point, the S&P up a point. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Discover just how deep your American roots go for free this 4th of July weekend. That's right, get free access, but only for a limited time. Visit tryancestry.com anytime this Wednesday through Sunday only, and you'll have 100% free access to our most popular U.S. Census collections. Find birthplaces, occupations, military service records, and so much more. Hurry, free access with unlimited hours is only for a short time. Visit tryancestry.com. That's TRY Ancestry.com. Tryancestry.com.
Know-how! When cologne is on sale for $3.49 a quart, you don't stock up. When scented bubble bath is on sale for $3.49 a quart, you definitely don't stock up. But now that Napa has Castrol GTX oil on sale for $3.49 a quart, you stock up your garage, your shed, maybe even your bathroom cabinets. Conquer the job with Napa Know-how. General states pricing. Sales prices do not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Offer
How much time? 30 seconds. I'm on right now. I don't believe you.
Okay. Enough kidding around.
Ho, 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 ho. Ho, ho, ho.
And now it's time for the Buddy Martin Sports Page.
He actually had me stay here last night in his gym.
It's like I don't fit in. It's like I don't belong here.
Let's go talk to a couple of guys that never gamble.
Oh, see, I made Lewis a bet here. See, Lewis bet me that we couldn't both get rich and put you on the poll house at the same time. He didn't think we could do it.
Gambling is illegal at Bushwood, sir, and I never slide.
And now, here's Buddy.
All right, welcome back to Sports Page on a Wednesday, my last day of the week. I'll be headed out tomorrow for a few days off, and Tom Spence will take you tomorrow. Then we're going to have our best of shows on Friday and Monday back here on Tuesday. So chance to spend some time with the family. Hope you're going to have a great 4th of July weekend, by the way, and be safe, be careful out there barbecuing and traveling, and hopefully we'll all get back here on Monday or Tuesday in one piece. Coming up in this hour, the head football coach of the Celtics at Trinity Catholic will be here. John Brantley joins us at 5:15. At 5:35, time to talk Seminole football, number one team in the nation, with Ira Schofel, the sports editor of the Tallahassee Democrat, joining us at 5:35. We'll talk about that. The World Cup is over, in case you haven't heard, and there'll be no soccer discussions that I know of here in this hour, unless Tom Spitz finds one in the headlines, which he's going to do right now on the show. Tom Spitz, what are the headlines today?
Well, first one is Tim Howard, the number one player in all of American soccer, I guess, has said that it's not the player's job to grow the sport. It's FIFA's job. It's the MLS's job. It's not the player's job. The player's job is to play. It's not the player's job to run the sport. So I agree with Tim Howard in that respect. It's not the player's job to develop American soccer. I think it's MLS. I think it's youth leagues. I think it's FIFA that needs to develop American soccer. And I like
that's a little Charles Barkley-ish, didn't it?
I don't mind Charles Barkley either, though. Remember, I'm pretty good with that. Mm-hmm. Jimmy Graham is a tight end after all. Did you know that, buddy?
Well, apparently so, but there's also this issue of whether he catches too many passes to be a tight end. So,
well, in a groundbreaking decision, the NFL has confirmed that arbitrator Stephen Burbank denied Graham's request to officially be declared a wide receiver under the NFL's franchise rules. Although Graham lined up either in the slot or out wide on 67% of his snaps last year, Burbank agreed with the New Orleans Saints and NFL Management Council, who argued the tight end position has always involved a combination of splitting out wide to run pass routes and staying in the block, especially in today's modern passing offense. I don't know if I agree with that, buddy. 67% of the time, he wasn't in the block. He was slotted out or in the wide out. That seems more like a wide receiver to me. But maybe we'll ask Coach Brantley when he gets here.
Do that, and also the fact I had this discussion earlier on ESPN. That what about defensive ends? Some brush the passers, some don't.
Right.
How about outside linebackers? Some do, some don't.
Right.
The pass rushers get paid more.
Wide receivers get paid more than tight ends.
Yeah. So that's pro football's problem to deal with. The agents to deal with.
The Brooklyn Nets have agreed in principle to do a deal, making Lionel Hollins their next head coach. Hollins' deal could be worth as much as 4 years, $20 million if the team picks up his fourth-year option, according to ESPN.com's Ramona Shelburne. So Hollins says he's got a nice nucleus to build with. He wanted to be able to be better than last year, and obviously that's going to take a lot of work. We're going to work hard, be aggressive, and we're never going to quit. So, and Hollins led the Memphis Grizzlies to 3 consecutive playoff appearances and then got fired for doing so.
Good hire. I think he's a good basketball coach.
And finally, this story caught my attention because there's a new book out called Bloodsport, Alex Rodriguez, Biogenesis and the Quest to End Baseball by Tim Elfrink and Gus Garcia Roberts. And there's excerpts in Sports Illustrated that says that Major League Baseball allowed Rodriguez, granted him a therapeutic use exemption in order to treat a high testosterone deficiency in 2007. So they have evidence in this new book that Major League Baseball, who has been after A-Rod and going after him and suspended him for the entire season, actually okayed his use of testosterone in 2007. So
after it was deemed illegal
deemed illegal by baseball. But baseball, according to this book that was released and excerpts in Sports Illustrated, said they gave A-Rod permission to use testosterone. So I don't know where that makes this, where I feel about this now.
As they say, something's rotten in Denmark. That didn't sound right. Something's going on there.
Sound right.
Joined now on the program by the head football coach of the Trinity Catholic Celtics. John Brantley is in the house. Hi, John.
Buddy, how are you?
Good to see you, Coach. And don't you have a camp coming up here in a couple of weeks or something?
Got a couple of camps coming up. We got 2. I'm heading out next Thursday for the Manning Passing Academy out in Thibodaux, Louisiana, one of the hottest places in the world.
Hot as in weather, not hot because it's a great place to be.
And it is a great place. I'm going to tell you, I've enjoyed it. I look forward to that every year. It's be my 5th year going out there, and got a great crowd. I just went through the list and everything. Got a great group. Jameis Winston's going to be out there, so he'll be the highlight of the weekend, and hopefully they'll keep him under wraps, and we'll have a great 4 days together. But looking forward to that, and then come back the end of the month, 26, 27, we have our big Brantley quarterback camp, and it's almost both sessions are almost filled up by now, and I'm looking forward to that as well.
Got to come from out of state to go to the Brantley camp.
I know. I got a call, 2 guys from West Virginia, so
wow.
So we're nationwide.
Today on the program, I'm going to get the next segment, get into some of that. Also a little bit about the art of quarterbacking, what makes a great quarterback. And you're a quarterback teacher. You played the position, and there's so many different kinds of quarterbacks today. High schoolers are different, and college is different, pros different, so on and so forth. They're really different positions. If you take a Tebow and a Johnny Brantley, they're different kind of quarterbacks. If you take even in the pros, you look at the different styles they got there. Peyton Manning versus someone like Kaepernick, different type of guy. So let's talk about the ingredients of a great quarterback. If you can put one together, what are the things you'd like to see in your quarterback other than having a gifted arm? Because as you know, and you don't throw the ball that much in Trinity, there's a lot more that goes into a game than throwing a ball around the field. You got to be able to run the team and manage the team. How important is that? So we'll get your assessment on that if we can do that.
All right.
We'll talk a little college ball and see what's talking about what's up with the Gators and Knowles.
We're going to ask him about Jimmy Graham too, because I want to know what old quarterback thinks about wide receivers and tight ends. I want to ask.
They didn't have tight ends when he played. They just had 2 ends.
They blocked. Now all they did was block. Now they're 6'6", 6'7", 255 pounds, running to 4.5 down the middle of the field.
There you go. And they had leather helmets then too, by the way. All right, John Brantley's in the house. Take a break, come back, spend some time with him right here on Buddy Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source. Regions Bank has big bank ability but possesses small bank agility, utilizing tools like Raymond Andrews and his team of 6 mortgage experts with 100 years of experience in the mortgage industry and 50 years experience as members of the Regions Bank team. Mortgage lending is personal and important, and you deserve someone that will lead you through a positive process. Raymond and his team use local mortgaging processes like local appraisers and local closing to help you have a positive experience, and they habla Espanol as well. So whether you need a conventional, FHA, USDA, or VA loan, or you even need a construction loan, the mortgage team of your local Regions Bank has the knowledge and experience to guide you through the process. So contact Raymond Andrews and his team of mortgage experts at 352-854-4104. That's 352-854-4104. Regions Bank, it's time to expect more.
Right on the southwestern corner of the square sits one of the finest dining establishments in Florida, Mark's Prime Steakhouse and Seafood Restaurant. Mark's offers big city dining amenities in a charming and small town setting. It's a rare treat to experience both the ambiance and the exquisite cuisine in a friendly atmosphere. Ocala's finest restaurant serves the finest beef, the freshest seafood, premium wines, and naturally fresh vegetables. From valet parking to splendid service, Mark's offers the complete package. Check it out today. Mark's Prime Seafood and Steakhouse Restaurant.
Hey, Eddie, I'm playing Augusta in a few hours, and I need a 4th. Want to join us?
Georgia's close, but it's not that close, Alex.
Not Georgia, Golden Ocala. I'm a member at Golden Ocala, and this course has 8 tribute holes, like number 12 and 13. You know, part of Amen Corner, and the postage stamp, and the road hole. It's a phenomenal track. My family and I always have a great time at the pool and at the restaurants. They've got 3, you know. The kids love the tennis programs. My wife practically lives at the spa, and I've been bulking up with a personal trainer in their fitness center. Joining Golden Ocala was one of the best decisions I've ever made, aside from marrying my wife, of course. So you want to join us in a few hours?
Absolutely. I can't wait to play the first hole in golf and the road hole too. Hey, how do I become a member at Golden Ocala?
Eddie, just call 352-402-4343.
Luxury and great golf is affordable at Golden Ocala. Call 352-402-4343 to join.
Yeehaw! Howdy, folks. RL here to invite you to DQ. Dairy Queen is serving the crispiest, juiciest, most tasty chicken tenders, all beef chili dogs, and quarter-pound cheeseburgers on earth. And you get crispy fries, a drink, and an ice cream sundae of your choice for only $5. Remember, at DQ, you can lick their cones, but you can't beat their shakes. Dairy Queen, Silver Springs, where they always treat you like kings and queens.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
News Talk 1370. WOCA invites you to discover your full business potential. News Talk Radio is the perfect environment for your advertising. WOCA's News Talk format pinpoints information-hungry, better educated, high-income adults. So use us to talk to them. Call 732-8000. 732-8000. We're Ocala News Talk Radio. News Talk 1370 WOCA.
Hey, I'm Gary. And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara.
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
Back to John Brantley on Buddy Sports Page. Coach Brantley, about to go back over to the school here in a minute, but before he goes, you have attracted over the years a number of top schools to Trinity. You got players who played, Purdue, LSU, different. I could go on forever of guys that you've had. And the word on the street is that you got at least 4, maybe 5 D1 prospects over there right now. Can you talk about some of the players who you think next year are going to be get major scholarships at big schools?
Well, it's exciting over there, but then when you have that type situation, the expectations go up and stuff like that, and that's when being a coach is trying to keep their heads on right and not growing and start already thinking about the next level. But we got some great kids, and we're gonna have probably 18 seniors this year. And I'll start off with my 2 middle backers, both been offered by Cincinnati. Marquise Hendricks is an outstanding player, great athlete. He's been offered by Cincinnati, about 4 or 5 other D1 kids. You get them all mixed up because we're having to deal with it all the time. We had 72 colleges represented show up on our campus this spring over a 4-week period, and we actually made a map of it with all the schools represented. It's pretty neat showing that and everything. And then you got Ulysses Gilbert, the other middle backer and everything. He's been offered by Cincinnati, been offered by USF as probably his 2 top choices right now. Kind of look the same, and they're number 8 and 9. You can almost get them mixed up. Him and Hendricks do a great job. Then you got the young kid at defensive end, Jordan Woods, who's probably been offered by half the SEC, Florida State.
He's been getting offered for several years now, almost.
And I just saw him a minute ago, and boy, he's looking real good. Tony McCall, who's an Old Forest guy, who's a great track and field guy. He does our weightlifting and conditioning program over at Trinity. He's doing a great job. But Jordan looks good, and he needs to have a big year. I personally felt like he fell off after his freshman year, and I think it had to do with the recruiting process and all the attention he was getting. So he had a great spring, and I think you're going to see him back up.
How big is he?
He's about 6'4", about 245.
Looks bigger than that.
Yeah, and he may be bigger than that. I just saw him, and he's as big, and he's trimmed too. So
he's fluid.
No fat on him. Yeah,
he's so fluid the way he plays the position too.
And he had a great spring, and he up in Ocala, he did a great job in the spring game. He got after the kid, the quarterback up there, who committed 2 days later to LSU, and we got after that kid pretty good. The other outside backer, strong safety, however you want to put him out there, Darian McNair, he's committed to Mississippi State. He went ahead and committed. Will he end up there? I don't know. You don't want to get into those games playing it, but as I tell my kids, I mean, they're going to ask 3 or 4 safeties. So if you don't call back the 1 or 2 that they're looking for, you're going to probably lose a spot. I mean, you hate to play that game, but I told my kids, I'd rather you hold the cards than they hold the cards. So
you're saying they should go ahead and commit and wait to see, and then they sign
if they like something, and that's your worst case scenario. And that's what I told him and his mom, I said, Darian, and told his mom, I said, here's your worst case scenario, playing in the Western Division of the SEC with Mississippi State. I know the coaches and everything because I've been involved with them before. That's your worst case. Now, if people around the state of Florida or something closer to home and you start feeling that pressure, you can evaluate that. You got to the first week of February. You hate to take that, give them that thought process, but hey, it works. I like to have control over a situation.
Having the worst case scenario being, playing cornerback or safety in the best division and the best conference in football is a pretty good situation to be in.
Not a bad deal and everything. So, the only thing it'd be, just basically kind of like Johnny's situation when he was committed to Texas for, 8 months. That 1,000 miles versus 30 miles finally starts wearing on you a little bit. So we'll see what happens to that. But he's committed to Mississippi State. Then you go on the other side of the ball. Got a tackle that came over about 5 or 6 months ago, Jaron Christian.
I'm hearing a lot about that kid.
Yeah, you're going to like him. He's still a little immature and on some things and everything, but Coach Beasley, we brought in from the head coach from Denellen, has done a great job. He is minimum. I mean, he's 6'6", 305. Wow. But his upside is fantastic.
Good feet, quick.
Great feet, and he just needed a little bit of coaching and everything. So, and he went against Jordan Woods and that's what basically got him sold, because we got a program called Huddle, which all the coaches can access around through our school. And we basically showed that film about, at least twice a week of those two's going at it. Because you got one of the, up-and-coming top defensive ends going against this tackle nobody'd really heard of, and he did a tremendous job. So this Jaron Christian, he's committed to the University of Miami, kind of the same situation, but his mom, this is Gerald Christian's little brother. Gerald Christian was a tight end, played at Florida with Johnny up there for a year and decided to go to Louisville up there with Charlie Strong.
I always thought he had a lot of upside that we never saw in Gainesville.
Yeah. And I think you're seeing it up there. I'm talking to his dad about some stuff, some issues to get him squared away for his senior year, and he's right now projected to be a middle round pick in the draft next year, and can really improve that if he has a great year. But that's he comes from good stock and everything, and his mom lives down. He went to Dwyer. That's where Gerald went,
Palm Beach.
So the mom's down there. So it's a good fit for him. So if he ends up and stays with Miami, that'll be a good fit for him. His dad, he's out here. He's the fleet truck manager for Cheney Brothers, and just a great family and everything. Glad to get those guys over. So got him. Then we got London Gaskin, a little slot receiver, tailback. He got offered by Alcorn State the last week, and I think his stock will rise over the course of the year. So right there, you're talking some excellent players, and we just got 2 offensive linemen from Forest that came over, and we're excited about those 2 guys. Then we got Richie DiNicola, who probably has the only chance of maybe playing on both sides of the ball for us, and he's our punter. Richie's probably overall one of our best athletes. He's an Ivy League guy. He just made the rounds up there. Harvard and Dartmouth, old Buddy Tevens, who heads up the Manning Passing Academy. All those guys are up there all over this kid. He's just got to get his ACT. He's only about a couple of points off, so he gets that up around 28. We feel strong about him. He'll be up there.
Up where you were.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, he got.
I was just south of there at Princeton.
Oh, wait, that was
I was at Princeton.
But if you see this kid kick, he got a leg on him as a punter too. Kid's got a good foot for the football.
So that, and we got some great young kids coming up and everything, but the core of that's about 7, D1 recruits that we'll have out there this year at Trinity, and it's exciting, but it's a lot of work, and but that's part of your job. That's part of the deal, is get these kids some exposure and everything. But the way the media, social media and everything's set up makes it so much easier to do that today than in the past. But, our key this year, I believe, is going to be the play of the quarterback, and that's going to fall on my shoulders because if your quarterback plays well, you got a chance. And I've got basically 2 unproven guys that haven't really played a lot at all, hardly in the high school level. So I got Noah Schaefer, who was out the last 2 years, played his freshman year. He's decided to come back out, throws the ball probably a little bit better than Ryan Miller, my other kid, who's a big he's going to be a sophomore. He's 6'3", 210 pounds. Big kid, 4.0 student, real sharp. So they're neck and neck right now. So we'll see how that.
Every time I talk to you, now I've seen you over at Wolfie's for breakfast 2 or 3 times. Each time I talk to you, you seem to get a little bit more enthusiastic about this team.
Well,
you start off by saying, "Well, I don't know," and then say, "Well, it might be a pretty well."
And then you always have somebody new walking through that door about every other week.
That's
or
the
every
question
other.
I want to ask you, Coach,
Yeah.
because I know that so goes Trinity State Championship hopes. It goes through Trinity Christian up in Jacksonville, beating them. I know that's a tough game. Without Coach speak, John Brantley, not Coach Brantley. Can you beat Trinity this year?
We where we just talked about having those 6 or 7 D1 recruits. They got 12 to 14.
Yeah.
Their whole defense has been offered by somebody in D1. So they're going to be tough to deal with. It's going to be one of those deals. If you held a gun to my head, I'd say no. But, you're not going to play them to week 2 of the playoffs. So now you got to play 10 games. You got to play a kickoff classic. You got to play a first-round playoff game. Their schedule is going to be tougher than ours just because of the fact that, nobody will play them up there, just like we have that same problem down here. But they're going to play Buford. They're going to play IMG. They're going to play Godby. They're going to play some good football teams.
Get a couple of guys hurt. You never know what
You
may
never
happen.
know. You get down there, and they got to come to Ocala this year. And does that matter? Hope so. You can make it a home field advantage, but maybe we'll go over there and just soak the field on their side down the night before and get their shoes all wet. And,
like you do every Friday night.
Yeah, and just mess around with them. But, no, Verlin Dormany, their head coach up there, is a great guy, good friend of mine, and he got beat by Trinity. He got beat by us about 6 years ago, 45-0 in his place, and I think he made a pact with everybody up there. Hey, we got to get to that situation, and he's done that. And he's got the cats in place.
He hadn't forgot about that.
No, he hadn't forgot about that, because when I walked across the field, I said, hey, at least I scored 17 against you. So I gave him something to think about. So we'll see what happens.
Like your old quarterback coach.
Yeah.
By the way, we only got about a minute before the music cuts us off, but we were going to talk quarterbacks.
Yep.
You're picking an ideal quarterback. You had the highest recruited. Johnny Brantley was the highest recruited player ever in this area around here, one of the most sought after quarterbacks. A lot of the great qualities. If you're going to tell a mom and daddy about a quarterback, what the traits were you'd like to see in one, what are the three or four things?
You give me the perfect quarterback. You give me Brady Manning from the waist up, and you give me, Kaepernick and Vic, from the waist down. The only problem with Russell Wilson, he's a great quarterback, but he's short. But he's won a Super Bowl. That's all you can ask. But he's around a great football team.
Yeah.
And that's what people don't realize. When you start looking at it, they had the best defense in the league. They're turning the ball over. They're making things happen. But, the game's changing. You're going to start seeing more and more of the Kaepernick type quarterback because they've never accounted for that position as a running back, and now you're starting to see more and more of it. The problem is you're having to give him all that money, and now you're exposing him, and that's the only thing. That's the only thing you got to worry about. You're paying him $5-6 million a year, and you're trying to run him more, and he gets hurt. Now you're out the money, and now you don't have that quality because you couldn't put the money in the backup.
To me, the perfect blend of physical quarterback, a guy who had great feet, although people don't think of it that way, and a fantastic arm, was John Elway.
Yeah.
John Elway, to me, he made Gary Kubiak told me this one time when he played behind John. We're out of time. He said John makes as many plays with his feet as he does his arm. So
give me the luck kid right now. I said if I had to go pick one, I'd get him right now.
There you go. John Brantley, thanks for coming by and have a good workout.
You guys, I appreciate what y'all do for high school sports.
Appreciate what you do over to Trinity. Coming up next, we'll take a break. We'll talk to Ira Schofel with Tallahassee Democrat right here on
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Bring me down. Hello, I'm Dawn Lovell, lead event designer and owner at Party Time Rentals. Have you ever wondered what it takes to make an event spectacular? Well, look no further. It's what we do every day. Whether you're hosting an intimate dinner for 10 or a gala for thousands, at Party Time Rentals, we find just the right style and elegance to make your event a success. Our extensive inventory of the finest in chandeliers, tents, crystal, china, and specialty items is featured in our fabulous showroom. Stop by and say hello. It's a great way to get ideas for an event and experience for yourself how you can make your party time special.
Party Time Rentals, located on Southwest 10th Street, just off Route 200 in Ocala, and off Southwest 34th Street in Gainesville. For more information, call 352-629-8858. That's 352-629-8858. The party begins at Party Time.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, inviting you to drop by our main office on Silver Springs Boulevard every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. for the Community Gazette, a 3-hour show focusing on our favorite community to live and work, Ocala, Marion County. Come join us with the voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin, in the new Old Fashioned Bank radio studio as we discuss a variety of interesting topics on the Community Gazette on WOCA The Source.
Right on the southwestern corner of the square sits one of the finest dining establishments in Florida, Mark's Prime Steakhouse and Seafood Restaurant. Mark's offers big city dining amenities in a charming and small town setting. It's a rare treat to experience both the ambiance and the exquisite cuisine in a friendly atmosphere. Ocala's finest restaurant serves the finest beef, the freshest seafood, premium wines, and naturally fresh vegetables. From valet parking to splendid service, Mark's offers the complete package. Check it out today. Mark's Prime Seafood and Steakhouse Restaurant.
Fox News Radio, I'm Jane Metzler.
Hurricane watch continues in effect for portions of the North Carolina coastline.
Dennis Feltgen with the National Hurricane Center, as Arthur is expected to make a mess of the July 4th weekend, especially along North Carolina's Outer Banks. Keeping interest rates at record lows, the Fed's plan, at least for now.
Some are concerned rock-bottom rates could destabilize the financial system, but Fed Chair Janet Yellen says raising rates is the wrong way to go.
Efforts to promote financial stability through adjustments in interest rates would increase the volatility of inflation and employment.
In remarks at a conference sponsored by the International Monetary Fund, Yellen said using more regulatory tools is a better strategy.
Fox Radio's Rachel Sutherland. The Dow up 20, the NASDAQ down a point, the S&P up a point. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Discover just how deep your American roots go for free this 4th of July weekend. That's right, get free access, but only for a limited time. Visit tryancestry.com anytime this Wednesday through Sunday only, and you'll have 100% free access to our most popular U.S. Census collections. Find birthplaces, occupations, military service records, and so much more. Hurry, free access with unlimited hours is only for a short time. Visit tryancestry.com. That's TRY Ancestry.com. Tryancestry.com.
When cologne is on sale for $3.49 a quart, you don't stock up. When scented bubble bath is on sale for $3.49 a quart, you definitely don't stock up. But now that Napa has Castrol GTX oil on sale for $3.49 a quart, you stock up your garage, your shed, maybe even your bathroom cabinets. Conquer the job with Napa Know-How. General states pricing. Sales prices do not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Offer
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Tropical storm watch is in effect along the coast. Tropical storm Arthur continues to intensify, located some 95 miles to the east-southeast of Cape Canaveral and moving slowly north. The storm will bring drenching downpours to the coast along with rough surf and dangerous rip currents tomorrow into Friday. Today, mostly cloudy with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm and becoming windy this afternoon, the high 88 to 92. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Now is the time to take advantage of Florida Credit Union's CD specials. Our 36-month CD comes in at 1.26% APY. A 24-month is working for you at 1.0% APY. And our 12-month at 0.75% APY. All CD rate specials require $10,000 minimum. With friendly service and rates like these, it's not hard to see why Florida Credit Union has your CD options covered. Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life. Call 352-237-8222 for more information. Must act by 1/15/14.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust-proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Welcome back to the Voice of Ocala Buddy Sports page. Just had a very good conversation with Coach John Brantley of the Trinity Catholic Celtics. He's really, really looking forward to football season. It seems like that, like you said, buddy, every time you talk to him, he's getting more excited about that football program. It just looks like that he's ready to take Trinity Catholic that next level. You know, won the state in 2005, won the state in 2010. He seems excited about this group and looks like they can. He doesn't know if they can beat. Like you said, if I had to put a gun to his head, he doesn't know if they could beat Trinity and Jacksonville. But I bet as a coach, he likes his chances. So I'm looking forward to this season coming up because we're going to do Marion County Friday night game of the week as we always do. Third year we'll be doing this, and I'm looking forward to it. Tom James on the call, myself in the booth. I'm looking forward to it. So
Yeah, I'm all looking forward to it. We'd like to do Marion County High School football, and we'll be working on that, announcing some things as we got special plans for that. And we will have the opportunity to see some good football games played here. We don't get a chance to see the Trinity too much this year because they don't play anybody in the county, so it's going to be a little more difficult. But we'll get out there and do a game or two, and we look forward to that as well. Coming up in just a moment, speaking of winning championships, so we almost forget that the SEC did not win the national championship last year. It was, in fact, won by a team in Tallahassee, and that would be the Florida State Seminoles, who come back with a terrific team. They got, by all accounts, they've got loaded when they come back. They've still got the great cornerback. They've got the great quarterback. They've got a good defense. They've got a good running game. They've got good special teams. And and they are going to be formidable. They're getting picked around the country, getting picked by a lot of people as a top team, or some cases, some top, and sometimes top five. So it's time now to put the World Cup aside and start thinking about the college football, and that includes the SEC and the ACC. And so we're going to check up now on what's happening in Tallahassee with the sports editor of the Tallahassee Democrat, Ira Schofel. Hello, Ira. How you doing?
I'm good, buddy. How are you?
I'm jonesing for some real football now. How about you?
That's why when I was watching the soccer match yesterday, I sat there and I was, looked at, I'm sure I looked sad to my kids while I was watching the last few minutes, and then about 5 minutes later, I got up and started walking around, and my daughter said, "You okay?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, it's just soccer." I was sad at the moment, but I got over it.
Forgot there for a minute. It was your Olympic pride coming out, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I was just talking earlier about the fact that Florida State, except for some of the negative things that unfortunately have come out about Jameis or whatever, Florida State's had a very kind of a quiet all season for a national champion. Seems like, haven't they?
Yeah, and it to a degree, but kind of everything kind of gets magnified when you are, the national champions, and you've got a guy like Jameis Winston on your team. So anytime anything with Florida State happens, it seems like it's big news. It came out this week that he took out an insurance policy, on make sure if he has an injury,
sure,
that prevents him from playing in the NFL. So that becomes a story. The last week, I think there was a story about Doak Campbell Stadium has removed some handicap parking spaces away from the stadium, and all of a sudden USA Today and people pick that up. 3 years ago, nobody would have had any interest in that, but
right.
when you win the national title, that's kind of what comes with it.
Well, it's the Tebow Manziel effect, when you have high profile players and you have people like that, and naturally you're going to get a lot of that. Now, as you said 2 years ago, people wouldn't even notice. Now all of a sudden, it's big news, whatever happens. And here's the thing about that. It's a double-edged sword. The fame that comes with being national champions is the overexposure in the media. And, Jameis Winston has already gotten a taste of that. He's going to get more. How do you think he's going to handle it?
I think by nature, I think he'd handle it pretty well. But I am curious to see kind of how Florida State handles it, because in some people's minds, they still have questions about the sexual assault allegations. He wasn't charged with it, but I'm kind of curious what happens if, for example, later this month when the ACC has their ACC kickoff meetings in North Carolina, everybody brings one offensive player, one defensive player. And you would think the Heisman Trophy winner would be there. The ACC would want him on that stage with all the media there. But I also wonder if Florida State's tempted to not bring him because I don't know if they want to subject him to an hour of questions that can't be controlled, and people might start asking questions about what happened that night and why didn't he do this or why did he do that, and so I'm curious to see how Florida State handles. I think Jameis has the personality and he's quick-witted. I think he'd be able to handle himself. But I do think they're also going to be cautious about kind of what they open him up to, because some of that stuff is still out there.
I think it'd be a huge mistake not to bring him. If you want to limit the time to 15 minutes and ask him to stay mostly on football, allow him to have one question or two about the other thing, and then move on. But if you don't bring him up there, it even looks worse. I
agree.
So I think it'd be a bad mistake and almost an admission of guilt, whatever. But anyway, that's for the coaches for Jimbo to work out, find out. Tom Smith has a question, but what do you make of all this stuff about Jacob Coper being, of course, at Alabama now, who played last year at Florida State, and people who are, in fact, trying to figure out how good a quarterback he's going to be? In your estimation, what kind of a player is Coker, and will he be able to move in there as a starting role for Nick Saban and be able to play, lead the SEC, lead them to an SEC West championship?
I think he will get the job because I don't think they have a lot of other options. But and I saw Jacob Coker look unbelievable sometimes at practice. There were a few practices early last fall in camp where Jimbo made the practices open to the media, and Jacob and Jameis would go toe to toe, throw for throw. Both look really good, and I think that's kind of what some of the comments. Randy Sanders, the quarterback's coach, made some comments about. It wasn't Jameis didn't win the competition easily, that it was a neck-and-neck race. But then there were also times in scrimmages and like the spring game, the Garnet and Gold game, and other times when they got into games, it seemed like there was a big difference. Jameis kind of stepped his game up to a different level. You even saw it last year when Jameis would come out of games in the second half and Coker would go in. Even when at first he had the second team, and obviously that's not going to be as sharp, but even when they left him in with the first team, just things didn't seem to be as sharp. I think he can play quarterback at this level. I think he's a guy that would be a solid starter, and especially in Alabama, if they're loaded like they usually are on defense and with the running game, I think he'd be fine. But I do think some people have got this feeling that he's going to be the same as Jameis Winston or in the same ballpark. And I never saw that anytime he got on the field in a real game situation.
Talking with Ira Schofeld, Tallahassee Democrat. Ira, Tom Schmitz here. I'm a defensive guy, played defense, so I'm looking at Charles Kelly, who was promoted in January from linebackers coach to defensive coordinator, replacing Jeremy Pruitt. We know that Jameis Winston gets all the pub, but it wasn't until that Florida State defense came into its own that they just started really waylaying people where games weren't even contested. How much of a factor is it going to be that now they have a new defensive coordinator to reshape this defense that had finally found its legs towards the end of the season?
Oh, I mean, you're right. I mean, a lot of people forget that the first 3 or 4 games of the season last year, they weren't really sure what that defense was going to be. Boston College ran for 1 million yards against them. They gave up some big plays, and so people had questions, and then they kind of figured it out. And like you said, the last 7 or 8 games of the season, they were really fantastic. I think the key with Charles Kelly is that they're just trying to keep things the way they were in that system that Jeremy Pruitt brought in. I mean, I think when Jimbo Fisher lost all those assistant coaches 2 years ago, Mark Stoops got the head coaching job at Kentucky, and they lost DJ Elliott, went with him, and they lost a whole bunch of defensive coaches. What he wanted that Saban style. So you got Jeremy Pruitt in there, who coached under Nick Saban, Sal Sunseri, who coached under Nick Saban, both at LSU and at Alabama, brought him in to coach defensive ends. And then Charles Kelly never coached under Saban, but he coached with guys who did. Like he coached with Al Groh at Georgia Tech, and Mike Groh was at Alabama. And so he wanted guys who had been around that system and understood that system. So then when Jeremy Pruitt left and took the job at Georgia, it was a natural move to move Kelly up to the defensive coordinator job because they just want to keep everything the way it was. Jimbo, I think his whole goal is he feels like he's got some players that can fill in the gaps of the guys who left, like Telvin Smith and LaMarcus Joyner and Terrence Brooks. Maybe not the same level, but close. And I think they just want to keep that defense doing everything the same. He doesn't want to change much from what they did last year.
Somebody told me, a big FSU fan told me a couple weeks ago, said, don't worry about Kelvin Benjamin. We've got somebody that's just as good as him. Who is he talking about? Say he's a 6'5" guy? I mean, my goodness, Kelvin Benjamin was a beast. Who is this person?
Yeah, I don't think that's accurate. I mean, they have a couple tall receivers. I mean, they got a kid from the Panhandle, Isaiah Jones, I think is his last name, who was a freshman last year and didn't play much. And they've got, a couple of newcomers who have got really good size. One in particular who's got really good size, but Ermon Lane. But as far as replacing Kelvin Benjamin, I think that's probably a long shot. In fact, I think from everything I've heard, not that Jimbo's overly concerned about this season, but that was of the guys they lost 4 juniors. The one he really hoped to not lose was he did not want to lose Kelvin Benjamin because what he does in the red zone, it's not, I think the offense will be fine between the 20s, But Kelvin Benjamin was such a weapon in the red zone and then they lose that. And not only was he a weapon, but he affected the way defenses had to play.
Yeah, and here's the thing about Benjamin. Not only was he tall, he would go up and get the ball. He really did a great job of catching the football and bringing it down. So that's what impressed me. Want to give me a 10-second evaluation? Last time I talked to you think that Seminoles had a chance of winning most or all of their games this year. You still stand by that?
I do. I mean, I think there's a chance they could trip up, but even if they lose one, I still think they get in the playoff. And I haven't seen anybody that looks more talented than them, so I still think they're the odds-on favorite.
Finishing off with Miami, Boston College under Steve Adazio, and Florida, who we don't know if it's any good or not. So it'll be interesting. As always, Ira, thank you very much for being on the program. Have a good rest of the summer.
You too. Thanks, guys.
Enjoy ACC Media Days. All right, Ira Schofel, Tallahassee Democrat. We'll go back and check the headlines for you, update you on things, and more to come right here on Buddy Martin's sports page. Stay tuned to
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name.
Hey, Eddie, I'm playing Augusta in a few hours, and I need a fourth. Want to join us?
Georgia's close, but it's not that close, Alex.
Not Georgia, Golden Ocala. I'm a member at Golden Ocala, and this course has 8 tribute holes, like number 12 and 13. You know, part of Amen Corner, and the postage stamp, and the road hole. It's a phenomenal track. My family and I always have a great time at the pool and at the restaurants. They've got 3, you know. The kids love the tennis programs. My wife practically lives at the spa, and I've been bulking up with a personal trainer in their fitness center. Joining Golden Ocala was one of the best decisions I've ever made, aside from marrying my wife, of course. So you want to join us in a few hours?
Absolutely. I can't wait to play the first hole in golf and the road hole too. Hey, how do I become a member at Golden Ocala?
Eddie, just call 352-402-4343.
Luxury and great golf is affordable at Golden Ocala. Call 352-402-4343 to join.
How good does it get?
Golf has long been considered to be sport's most prestigious game, and WOCA has your connection to everything in the golf world. Every first and third Thursday at 10 a.m., tune in for Let's Talk Golf with your host, PGA professional and teacher to the stars, Jim Beckett, and operations manager for the Links of Spruce Creek South, Darren Irwin, right here on The Source.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
Hi, I'm Leah Caruso with Strive Rehabilitation, inviting you to join me Thursday at 11 a.m. for Health Matters. Ocala Health and Strive have teamed up to bring you the latest information on good health services available to you right here at home. This vital information will help you make informed decisions about your health. So don't forget to join me here at 11 a.m. Thursday. It's news you can use from Ocala Health, Strive, and your friends here at WOCA.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
We are The Source, WOCA, news, talk, sports, and more.
Dedicate yourself and you gon' find yourself standing in the Hall of Fame.
Welcome back to the Voice of Ocala. Wrapping up Buddy's sports page. Buddy, we were talking about Coach Brantley. He's going to the Manning quarterback camp. Then he's coming back and running his own quarterback camp. But football's not the only thing that got camps. All-county golfer Grant Lovell just went to a golfing camp. Do you got any information on that?
I do, only because I spoke with him last night, and I'm so proud of Grant. I'm sorry for those people who.
Well, now you're kin to Grant. Let's be honest with everybody.
Oh yeah, but I don't want to take it. I mean, if other people have players they want to talk about going somewhere and making a team, I'll be glad to put it on there. But this is one special young man, and Grant. And Grant Lovell called me last night and said he went down to a camp in at Florida Southern where he's going to go to school. He went to the camp, and while he was playing, the coach came over and said, "You don't need to walk on. You're on the team." So he's on the team at Florida Southern as a golfer.
That's in Lakeland, right?
From Forest High School. So congratulations to Grant. I'm really happy for him. I'm proud of him. He's not only that, he's a terrific young man. So
I've seen him play golf.
You played again with his brother Palmer.
Yeah,
Stripes are pretty good too, by the way.
I've watched Grant play golf, and I watched Palmer beat the brakes off of me.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well, he'll actually, in fact, I think the next person we read about next year will be Palmer and Howie George, by the way, at Trinity. So we'll be checking that out. So, yeah, look at this basketball news. We're going to have some probably resolution to this free agency in the next few days because they're talking about making quick decisions with the big three.
Oh, they already got. They say they already got stuff in order that they're just waiting on.
But making
Pat Riley.
Carmelo Anthony right now is going to visit the Rockets. So there's things going on, and Magic, by the way, did sign their first-round draft picks, Gordon and Payton, today.
Did you see? You see the NCAA lost against Ed O'Bannon and decided to settle with Ed O'Bannon and those guys over the antitrust.
I didn't, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah, Ed O'Bannon is going to get between $2,500 and $15,000.
Yeah, and that's how it's a new day. And
lots of people are going to get a little bit of change, but the precedent is set that the NCAA can't use likenesses and make money off of them without paying the players for those likenesses.
Yeah, it's a fair judgment, and it's how the rules have changed for college sports. You'll see that. You know who Marcin Gortat is?
Marcin Gortat.
Gortat. I'm sorry. Gortat.
The center for the Washington Wizards. Yeah. He may be coming to Miami.
How good of a player do you think he is?
Gortat, he's probably one of the 5 or 6 best centers in the game.
Well, there aren't many.
Right.
How much is he worth?
How much is he worth? Probably about $12-13 million a year, but he got more than that. I bet.
He got a 5-year deal for $60 million.
Yeah.
So ain't too shabby. The amount of money they're
$12 million a year, about that.
The amount of money that these guys are making, I know we say about it every year, incredible.
Yeah, but Gortat's worth about $12 million.
I know, I've seen him play. He's a big, strong guy, and he'll take the ball to the hole.
But the best power forward right now with the most championship rings just opted in to 10.3.
How good would the automatic? How good would the Bulls become if they had Carmelo?
That all depends. Everybody can say what you want. It all depends on whether Rose comes back.
Well, if he comes back, you're assuming he will. He is supposed to be coming back.
That'd be a pretty good basketball.
Pretty good starting 5 right there if he came in. And although I'm not a big Carmelo fan, but that would be so. A lot of things to be sorted out. I want to just wish you all the luck the next couple of days. You have a good day tomorrow. Tom will be going solo tomorrow, and with who else was your guest?
I got Katie.
Hunter will be
Kate's
here.
coming over from the Humane Society. I'm actually going to start with a subject tomorrow. I already gave that to you.
Okay.
I'm going to start with a subject tomorrow, the FCAT, and how I feel like it's affecting students in our area. So
I talked to George Thomas today. We'll get him on a little bit later on. So that's a good topic to discuss.
So, and I'm going to have 15 phrases that we now use because of Seinfeld.
Okay, and I think you might have Angie Lewis. You better text her tonight and find out what's going on.
Seinfeld premiered July 5th, 25 years ago.
Amazing. Our thanks to the Mayor Ken Gwynn, also Dave Cope for the Real Estate Show, Coach John Brantley, and Irish Schofel, the Tallahassee Democrat, and for Hunter Thompson-Turner being back in the house. Thanks to Diamond and Ashley, and my broadcast partner, Tom Spitz. I'm Buddy Martin, off for a few days to have a vacation. Have a great 4th of July, everybody.
She grew up in an Indiana town, had a good-looking mom who never was around, but she grew up tall and
ultimate summer staycation. Just minutes from downtown Ocala, but miles away from the ordinary. A summer sports or summer golf membership at Golden Ocala Golf